won the last 2 after dropping the series open. They won 13 of the last 15. The Avalanche host the Sharks, looking to even things up after 4 games. I'm Rich Ackerman.
Sixers host the Raptors tonight in Philadelphia. You got Columbus, Boston, Avs, Sharks. It's all happening for On Bench 10 East, 7 West. CBS Sports Radio.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please call this toll-free number right now. 800-390-9528. That's 800-390-9528. By calling your addiction team, you're taking the first steps to recovery. The help you need could be one call away. 800-390-9528. Make the free call now. 800-390-9528. Your addiction team is a third-party advertiser for various treatment centers and placement networks. Individual results will vary. Visit youraddictionteam.com/terms for more information.
Get creative in the kitchen with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. They're great out of the bag, big taste, thick and crunchy, gluten-free and keto-friendly. But you can also crush them to add to casseroles or use them as a gluten-free coating instead of breadcrumbs on chicken, pork chops, and fish. It's a multi-purpose snack for folks who want better-for-you options and a big, bold taste, too. That's everyone, right? Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds, a different kind of rind.
Visit your local Kroger today for your Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds.
Napa know-how.
You don't have to know fancy terms like ceramic, metallic, and calipers to know that this sound isn't a good thing. And now at most Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers, you'll get a $75 prepaid Visa card when you spend $250 on brakes. Do it yourself or have it done for you and save $75. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. Exclusions apply. Offer ends 5/31/19. Do you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes? Good news. There's a new way out. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. Call U.S. Tax Shield, A+ rated with the BBB. 800-391-5063 for your free consultation and let U.S. Tax Shield protect you from the IRS.
And now, your local news. A burglary in Charlestown. Police have arrested 2 people. 22-year-old Crystal Osorio and 24-year-old Bo Baker are in the Eastern Regional Jail. More arrests are expected as the investigation unfolds. Charlestown Mayor Scott Rogers, in a letter to City Council, says he's quitting in part because of the controversy surrounding Rockwool, which has upset his wife. He says his wife asked him to resign a few months ago because of online threats against anti-Rockwool supporters. He also said that his wife was recently offered and has now accepted a new job out of state. The driver of a big rig was cited after the tractor trailer hit a traffic signal closing part of US 522 in Morgan County. 56-year-old James Reed of Tennessee has been charged with striking a highway fixture. It's believed Reed fell asleep behind the wheel. A federal judge ruled in favor of Rockwool Wednesday, granting the company a preliminary injunction to prohibit the Jefferson County Board of Education from taking any further action or threats to condemn Rockwool's property. I'm Ed Heisted, Talk Radio WRNR News.
Now, with your local forecast, weatherman Bob Kukin.
Some showers around through the evening time, but also some periods when it's not raining and it's just mostly cloudy. Temperatures pretty pleasant with readings into and through the 70s this evening, back into the 60s late night, the low 62 in the morning. For tomorrow, partly sunny, becoming warm and humid again with highs in the lower 80s. Some more showers and thunder showers become more likely at the end of the day and at night. I'm Bob Kukin, Talk Radio WRNR.
When it comes to breast cancer, early detection is the key to saving lives. During the month of May, WVU Medicine Berkeley Medical Center is offering 3D mammogram screening clinics to women 35 and older every Saturday at our Tennessee Avenue Women's Imaging Center for just $60. This discounted fee is designed to help patients who haven't met their deductible, whose insurance doesn't include a mammogram with an annual exam, or for those with no insurance. Pick a Saturday in May and schedule your 3D mammogram at WVU Medicine Berkeley Medical Center.
Eastern Panhandle Talk with Rob and David.
I'll give you my story about being a Canaanite. I voted against him on a bill. I was fighting for the West Virginia National Guard to do more of the contracting. The next day I walked on the floor of the Senate, and I could hear him screaming at me as soon as I walked through the doors of the Senate. When I got closer to him, then I could hear the profanity coming. And it was coming at a wave that you couldn't even imagine. I just looked at him and I said, listen here, you little SOB, I'm not taking this crap from you. By God, I said, I have a right to fight for my state. You fight for yours. I respect that. And everybody's cleared out because they thought we were going to start swinging. And that's just, you know how John gets blood red, and then it stops as quick as it started, Dave.
That would be John McCain.
I could tell that he felt, maybe I went too far. I could tell in his eyes. About a week went by, and we calmed down. He said, Joe, he said, I'm so sorry. I said, John, you do not owe me an apology. You have earned the right to go off as bad as you want to. And I think he respected that I was willing to go to blows, too, for what I believed in.
Eastern Panhandle Talk with Rob and David. What did you listen to last week? He's Bill Ryder, and people can't stop listening.
Bill, I'm a new listener. I really appreciate, it's really refreshing to listen to a radio host who has opinions that's based on something a lot of these guys have forgotten. And that's a reality. The idea that right and wrong still exists is nice to hear on the radio.
It's Ryder Than You with Bill Ryder.
Welcome back into the show. Bill Ryder with you. Thank you for hanging out on this Thursday. As promised, friend of the show, and the very talented Jared Greenberg from NBA TV host and reporter there joins me on the program. Jared, what's up, buddy?
Bill, what's happening?
Living the dream. I got a non-NBA question for you because we're publicly shaming some of the works on my show. Have you ever seen the film...
Public shame.
Oh, it's good, right? It's necessary. Stu needs just a little push in the right direction. Have you seen the film Major League?
Seen it, I would say, probably in the early 90s. It was the movie I saw the most. Probably saw it 100 times.
And how, if you were in my shoes, Jared, as a media professional, would you evaluate someone who's largely responsible for helping to put together a sports talk radio show if they'd never seen the film and looked at you with deer in the headlights when you brought up a Major League reference?
Well, as long as he followed up by saying, I promise you, Bill, I'll have this done by tonight. I'll go home and watch it, then that's fine, right?
We're going to clip that, and we're going to play that as a homework assignment, Jared Greenberg, for Stu after, later in the show. A lot to get to. The Denver...
Can I just mention one thing? There's an underrated scene of Major League that you just made me think of it. That goes back in one of my favorite movie scenes. I'm not a big movie guy by any means, but this one sticks out. Remember when the guys played the prank on Rick Vaughn and they told him he got cut? They put the pink slip in his locker.
I love that scene.
He stormed into the manager's office, and he said, the next time I pitch against you, I'm going to stick it right up, you know what?
Yeah.
And then he said...
The following is a special sports broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. Play ball! It's time for the fun and excitement of West Virginia high school baseball. Today's game is being brought to you by
Miller Honda, Cox Holiday Professionals CPAs, the Brown Funeral Homes, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, the Marius Group at Ameriprise Financial, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, Parsons.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome in to P.O. Faulkner Park. It is the home of Martinsburg Bulldog Baseball. Tonight, a special night at the ballpark as it is senior night and strikeout cancer night as Martinsburg will play an Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference and sectional rival in the Hedgesville Eagles. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. We've got John Alderton on our TV10 camera and Patrick Feely, our studio engineer. We are in the Procter & Gamble broadcast booth. For information on a career with Procter & Gamble in Berkeley County, visit pgcareers.com. Well, Matt, a little different atmosphere here tonight at P.O. Faulkner Park. We were here a night ago. So we thought...
No, again, you got to get that out of your mind.
The Martinsburg Bulldogs were in action against Central Woodstock out of Virginia. That game got shortened due to rain, and we'll tell you more about that in just a moment. We would think Martinsburg comes in at 22-8, but they actually come in at 22-7, still holding on to a 2-game winning streak, 7 wins in their last 8 games, 13 wins in their last 15 games, 16 wins in their last 19 games, despite falling behind 5-0 yesterday and thinking when they left the ballpark that they had suffered a loss.
Let's clarify it for everybody here, because it was a rule we weren't necessarily sure of. We weren't sure when exactly a game went final. We assumed going with Major League Baseball, you need 5 complete, because that's about the halfway point at midway through the 4th inning. We figured after 3.5 here with a 7-inning game that would be a official final last night. That is not the case. In high school baseball, you need to finish 5 complete innings for it to be considered a complete game, and we were just 1 out away from getting through 5 completely. So 4 2/3 complete, needed 1 more out to get that official game. But luckily for Martinsburg, because they didn't finish that 5th inning, the game does not count. So really, we weren't even here. The game didn't count. The game never happened. We weren't here. You just got to keep telling yourself that. We weren't here that game. I know Coach Byler wishes this game never happened last night because he was not overly impressed, and I think that's a little bit of an understatement with how his team came out and played last night, and you can't blame him. Only getting 2 hits last night, both of those coming off the bat of Grant Harmon in that leadoff spot. It was a good day for Harmon, not only at the plate but in the field as well. Made a couple of really good plays when he saw a lot of action at that shortstop position. But it was a game that Martinsburg needs to throw out of their heads quickly, and I think hopefully was a little bit of a gut check for them, thinking maybe they can coast through the rest of this season.
Well, Martinsburg scheduled to have this one here tonight. I believe one more game to close out the week. We'll check on that as we go here. Meanwhile, for Hedgesville, 18 wins, 8 losses on the season. They've won 2 in a row and 3 of their last 4, beginning to turn things around after a struggle where they dropped 4 in a row. And through the course of that struggle, it may very well be the reason that they ended up as the 2 seed, not the 1 seed in the sectional tournament.
I think that may have played a small part, and Jefferson's a very good baseball team. I think when you look at the overall regional play, I think it could have gone either way, and I think that when you look at 1 through 7, it's hard to make any argument to move those 1 through 7 numbers. But Martinsburg coming in, they had won 8 of 10 going into last night. So again, we just kind of rotate all that into tonight with last night's game not technically counting. So 8 of 10 coming into this game. They're playing very good baseball, and while this game, when you look at it in the light of does this mean anything for playoff seeding, no. But at the end of the day, this is still a rivalry game, and I'm sure both of these teams are coming out feeling that rivalry energy here as we are getting closer and closer to playoff baseball.
Not only the energy that comes from playing a rival, but add to it the fact that these two teams haven't played since right at the beginning of the season. Martinsburg opened the year all the way back on March 14th with an 8-3 loss against Loudoun County, and then came out that very next night on March the 15th and suffered an 11-1 loss at Hedgesville. For the Eagles, that was their season opener, the 11-1 victory over Martinsburg. So both of these teams have been through an awful lot since the last time they played.
And you want to add even more fuel to this fire. It's senior night. It is a very special night here at the ballpark. It's Strikeout Cancer Night here at P.O. Faulkner Park. So a lot going on here at the ballpark. You add in a Martinsburg-Hedgesville game, and that's just going to add to it. But like you said, these are 2 completely different teams than what you saw at the beginning of the season. Obviously, this game was scheduled to happen a little bit earlier. It wasn't meant to be the first week of the season, last week of the season. But the way it has played out with the weather, which has wreaked havoc across the area, not only this baseball season, but the last almost year and a half, it's what this game's going to be, and we will see what these 2 teams look like here tonight.
The pregame show is being brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services for home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Phone 304-350-1931 or find them online at WHMsystems.com. As they begin to honor the seniors here on senior night, we send it to the studio, take a 1-minute timeout, and then when we return, we'll hear from both head coaches as we preview today's matchup. It's Martinsburg hosting Hedgesville on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
When you're hurting,
Harley Miller Systems provides custom integration services such as home or office automation, audio-video distribution, home theater, networking, and much more. With a Control4 system, you can consolidate into a single and simple solution, eliminating the need for a table full of remotes or dozens of apps on your cell phone. Want to check on the house from work? Want to listen to your favorite music while cooking dinner? Want to enjoy your favorite movie in your own home theater? Contact W. Harley Miller to make your dreams come true. Phone 304-350-1931 or visit WHMSystems.com.
if you hang the WVU Medicine sign...
Hi, I'm James Hinchcliffe. I'm here to talk to you about the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event, where every Honda has the soul of a race car. But James, how is this a dream event if I'm currently awake? It's called Dream because you can get the Honda of your dreams during this event, like the Honda Civic.
With these resources.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
They treat you great, and they're down to earth in the West Virginia way that all West Virginians treat each other.
Welcome back into P.O. Faulkner Park. The seniors continuing to be introduced and recognized along the infield, stretching from the third baseline over towards the first baseline in front of the pitcher's mound. Parents, family gathering, and some teammates holding plaques with jerseys in them that they will be able to take and hang up and always remember this time playing baseball for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Well, as they continue with those ceremonies, Matt, we want to hear from Aaron Byler, second-year head coach of the Martinsburg Bulldogs, clearly frustrated with the way the team played last night, even though that game will not ultimately end up in the record books. Martinsburg still at 22-7. Coach Byler looking for them to come out and play much better today.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of lack of focus kind of from the start when they got here. They didn't seem like they were energized or wanted to be here, but we talked about it, and we talked about how it's not acceptable, and that lackluster effort will definitely not get it done tonight, so hopefully that we'll fix it.
Last night you mentioned this team maybe being a little tired. You even gave them a little extra time before getting here to the ballpark. Did you get a sense that played into how it went?
I don't know if they were tired, wore out, or like I said, just didn't have any ambition to be here. So it could have been a little bit of everything. So like I said, hopefully we get it corrected tonight, and I think they will. We got a lot going on tonight, and I think they'll be excited to play Hedgesville.
You haven't seen Hedgesville since way back at the beginning of the season. What do you look for in this matchup with both teams really probably being a lot different?
Yeah, I would definitely say we're a different team. For to start with, we have our full lineup. We didn't have Grant Harmon and Ashton Staubs, and they're quality. From the start of the season, everybody was picking them, and they've struggled a little bit here as of late. But I look for them to give them everything we got. For them to give us everything we want tonight, even though that it might not mean anything. Like I told you last night, Martinsburg versus Hedgesville, both teams want to win.
I was going to say, while it doesn't mean anything as far as the seedings, that's already set for next week's tournament, how important is it to keep moving in the right direction going into the postseason?
We're going to do everything we can to win tonight.
All right, so we know about that. You got a lot of other activities going on around the ballpark. What's the challenge that maybe presents?
It's a lot of distractions with senior night and strikeout cancer night, but, I told you this group of seniors is just phenomenal, and, we're excited to honor them, and they deserve it, and strikeout cancer night, is for a great cause, and we decided to pair them together tonight in hopes that we get a bunch of people out, and we're looking forward to a good night.
And you guys seem to like the purple jersey. They play well in that uniform.
They do. They're excited to put it on tonight, and hopefully they'll be a little bit more excited than last night, and hopefully we can put together a good show tonight.
Coach, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, Matt.
And there's an opportunity here from Martinsburg head coach Aaron Byler. Some of his thoughts heading into tonight's matchup against Hedgesville. Clearly expecting a better effort tonight than he saw last night.
Yeah, and if you don't see a better effort than that, you're going to have a worse result, I believe, because taking nothing away from Central last night, but this Hedgesville team is a much better team than the Central Falcons were last night, so you need a much better effort tonight than you put forward last night.
Well, let's turn our attention to those Hedgesville Eagles, who are trying to regroup, if you will, after a tough stretch that really kind of started for them down at Myrtle Beach. They have been able to turn things around with a couple of wins this week at Washington on Monday, yesterday at Fort Hill. They've won 3 of their last 4, and that's after snapping a 4-game slide. So what is it that head coach Eric Grove in his first year is looking for out of his team and where they're at right now?
I was really happy with our practice at the end of the week last week, and I think it's transitioned to 2 good wins this week. Really happy with where our bats were, especially yesterday. Pitching's coming around. I've been excited. I'm excited for this tonight. I'm excited to wrap us up and get into the main thing we're worried about. And I think they're in the right frame of mind. They're hungry. They want it now, and I think that makes for a dangerous concoction. We keep swinging the bats the way we are.
Does it make them even more dangerous the way the seeding came out for the sectional tournament? I'm sure they were hoping to get that 1 seed, did not get it. Does that give you a little extra motivation?
Well, I mean, from my perspective, I thought, we didn't play well in the middle part of the year, and I think that weighed in some people's minds. I certainly am looking at what we did in our section and, raising my eyebrows a little bit. But for a team that sometimes struggles to find motivation, they've got it now. So I appreciate that from everybody. And they've let me know that from before I knew it. So they're ready to go. I mean, this is the time of year that they've been looking forward to. And I don't like to think that they took games off, but maybe they did in the middle of the year. But they're definitely invested in what's going on here now.
How do you kind of approach this game? You haven't seen Martinsburg since the very beginning of the season, but you're also looking to see them next week when the games really matter more. So how do you approach tonight?
Well, I don't want to take games off for the simple reason we need to get on a hot streak, and I want to stay on a hot streak. And I think that our lineup's pretty similar. Pitching wise, we're doing a couple things different just to maintain arms for next week, but I know it is different not seeing them in so long, but I mean they played really well for a long period of time, and I know that they're going to want this win tonight just as bad to validate what all has happened in the last few months, and so we're excited for that, and I look forward to a good game.
Coach, thank you. Good luck.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, there you hear from Eric Grove, head coach for the Hedgesville Eagles, his thoughts heading into this matchup. And Maddie's got a point, and it really brings to the point as well that Aaron Byler made last night. Listen to these numbers. You hear Coach Grove talk about, I look at what we've done so far in the section, and I kind of wonder about those rankings. And last night, Coach Byler said, why in the world are we doing rankings before all the teams get an opportunity to play? It's not that difficult. We cast votes, and the very next day by about 10 a.m., we had the results. Do that at the end of the season and set up right. Listen to this. Martinsburg in 5 games against these sectional opponents has 3 wins and 2 losses. Now, again, one of those is against Hedgesville all the way back at the beginning of the season when they weren't fully manned. I think that's why Martinsburg is so focused on trying to get the win in this one. Hedgesville is 4-0. They still have 2 sectional games to play because after this one tonight, who do they play tomorrow? At Spring Mills. So they haven't even played 2 opponents for a second time. Spring Mills 1-4 in their 6 games, and Musselman 2-4 in their 6 games, and yet Spring Mills is the 3 seed and Musselman the 4 seed. So none of it makes sense by doing the voting and carrying it out the way that they do.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it's, number one, I think it's dumb they do voting to begin with. Let the record figure out what the seeding is. And the timing in which they do it is just completely asinine. But to me, I think what they're thinking is by this point in the season, you have a good enough idea what teams have done against sectional and regional opponents that you can make an educated choice as to what those rankings should be. That is the only thing I can possibly think of to make this sound in any way normal or the way it should be, is that by the time you get to the final week of the season and 2 days into the final week of the season, you have an idea of who's done what in the area.
Well, the rankings came out, and it is Martinsburg the top seed, Hedgesville the 2, Spring Mills and Musselman rounding out the 3 and 4 seeds for that sectional tournament that will get underway next week. We are celebrating not only senior night, as you saw the seniors on TV 10 and the WRNR TV YouTube page being recognized, but it is also Strikeout Cancer Night. Let's see if we can pick up a little of the PA.
In addition to fundraisers such as Strikeout Cancer, they help provide the medical community with the resources necessary for research and development. She is grateful for the students at MHS and others who gave this week. Those t-shirts you bought, the volleyball entry fees you paid, the raffle tickets you bought, the donations you made at the gate tonight are all part of the reason her medical team had the knowledge to support her and give her the best outcome. Ms. Strubing has been a teacher at MHS for 10 years. Her husband of 28 years is joining her tonight. The Strubings have one son and one daughter, both MHS grads. Ms. Strubing, we are so happy to have you here tonight. We are honored to have you throw the first pitch and celebrate with you and be 1 year cancer-free.
Nice job. It's the underhand toss on the ceremonial first pitch, hauled in by catcher Aaron Pearson, who heads out for a hug, and that is the perfect way to get ready for action here tonight on this senior night and strikeout cancer night at P.O. Faulkner Park. All right, we're going to come back to wrap up our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We take a 1-minute timeout. When we return, we'll look at today's starting lineups. It's West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Welcome to La Bella Vita, named for my Grandma Vita. Our mountaintop getaway honors her legacy while
Reliable and cost-effective outdoor living company, Miller's Pools is here for all of your service, maintenance, install, repair, and landscape needs. With nearly 20 years of experience, you can trust Miller's Pools to create and maintain your backyard oasis. Call 304-261-9012 for Miller's Pools.
When you do the same thing for 135 years, you learn to do it well. For 135 years, we've been helping families through the hardest times of their lives. That's because we're a family as well. When your family loses a loved one, we're here to help. We're Brown Funeral Home.
That overlooks the lake. Cheers to the beautiful life, La Bella Vita.
Back again on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Find them online at WHMsystems.com or phone 304-350-1931 to find out more about custom integration services from home and office automation to home theater networking, audio-video distribution, and more. Well, the head coaches meeting with our two-man umpiring crew right behind home plate, exchanging those lineup cards, going over the ground rules here at P.O. Faulkner Park. By the way, 305 down the lines, 350 into the power alleys, and 375 to straightaway center field. Plenty of foul territory in behind home plate and a good bit down the lines as well. We saw a couple of nice plays made in foul territory down the left field line in that JV game, which, by the way, was won by Hedgesville by a 6-4 final.
Yeah, a couple of good flashes of the leather, if you will, especially in that left field line, and having to play with that full field tarp down there. A couple of those catches not easy to make, and was a good game that didn't look very good until it came down to the 7th inning.
Well, let's take a look at the starting lineups. They're about to be introduced to the crowd on hand here. They are a service of D&N Auto Specialist, where honesty is their best policy. Get it fixed right the first time at D&N Auto. Call 304-267-4078. Let's begin with the visiting Hedgesville Eagles, 18-8 on the season, led by first-year head coach Eric Grove, assisted by Nikki Brown, Derek Snyder, Mike Quinn, Levi Marty, Brian Mosley, and Scott Budka. For Hedgesville, third baseman Josh Rush is in the leadoff spot. He'll be followed by the center fielder Chase DeLauder. Batting third, playing shortstop Kyle West. In the cleanup spot, starting catcher Brady Weaver. Doing the pitching and batting fifth is Parker Martin. The number 6 hitter at first base, Jamison Matthew. Batting seventh in right field, Ryan Fry. The number 8 hitter, second baseman Tyler Bubb. And batting ninth, playing left field, Caleb Brown. So again, Rush, DeLauder, and West, followed by Weaver, Martin, and Matthew. Fry, Bubb, and Brown round out the batting order for Hedgesville, playing without a DH. For the Martinsburg Bulldogs, 22-7 on the season, led by second-year head coach Aaron Byler, assisted by Kurt Zarnecki, Bo Bartley, Buzzy Jackson, Zeke Grissinger, Drew Sutherland, Larry Cooper, and Rick Alderton. Not here tonight. Rick, I'm sure you're tuning in somewhere. We want to wish you well and keep you in our prayers to get better soon. We can pass along that same thought to Hunter Coe, who is not in the lineup for Hedgesville, the normal right fielder and starting pitcher, a power hitter. He's out sick tonight as well. Hopefully he can get better quickly and get back into that Hedgesville lineup. All right, for the Martinsburg Bulldogs, leading off and playing shortstop is Grant Harmon. First baseman Nicholas Wright, he is batting second. The number 3 hitter at second base, Ashton Stobbs. The cleanup hitter at third base is Trey Sine. Batting fifth and catching, Aaron Pearson. The number 6 hitter, starting pitcher, Darryl Pope. Batting seventh in left field is Cam Burnett. The number 8 hitter is right fielder Noah Brittner, and batting ninth, center fielder Austin Bartley. So again for Martinsburg, Harmon, Wright, and Stobbs, followed by Sine, Pearson, and Pope. Burnett, Brittner, and Bartley round out that Bulldog batting order as they go without the DH as well. Lineups a service of D&N Auto Specialist, family owned and operated since 1974. They specialize in exhaust alignments and tires. Give them a call to set up an appointment at 304-267-4078. Should probably pass along a prayer and a get well soon to John Lowry Sr. Understand not only did he miss the game against Spring Mills that we called on Monday, but not there for yesterday's game, that tough 6-4 setback on the road at Hampshire. So, Coach, hoping that you get well soon and get back in the dugouts.
Everybody needs to get healthy for the playoffs are coming. Yeah. Everybody at full strength. Players, coaches, anybody, get healthy.
Hedgesville in the first base dugout along the foul line as they've been introduced, wearing the gray pants with the dark blue jersey tops, white lettering and a silver type of trim. Martinsburg being introduced. They'll line up down the third base line with starters heading out onto the field. And Martinsburg on strikeout cancer night wears their special purple jersey tops with orange lettering and white trim and the white baseball pants. Well, we will take a break and then come back with a look at today's starting pitching matchup, the opening pitch and all the play-by-play. We pause now for the national anthem. You're listening to West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships.
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
Rumors are flying. There's this big merger everyone is talking about. 2 real forces in the world joining forces. This is big stuff, but it's all rumor. Is this merger really going to happen? If so, when? Where? Who else is involved? Mergers of this stature affect a lot of people. At Bechtel Jewelers, we say, sir, it's time to confirm the rumors. This is Lori from Bechtel Jewelers. It's true. People are talking about you and that woman you're so crazy about. It's so obvious to everybody that you're meant for each other. And yes, talk about 2 forces in the world. You, her, watch out, world. So get in here. Let's find the diamond and the setting. Just perfect for her. Just what she's dreamed of. Then get back to her pronto. Down on one knee, open that little box, say those few words. She'll probably say more than a few back. Of course, when she sees her diamond, she might not be able to say anything at all, except the one word that confirms that beautiful merger. And then spread the news. Confirm the rumors. This merger is happening. Bechtel Jewelers, Route 11 South in Inwood.
Find them online at BechtelJewelers.com.
Play ball! The pregame is over, and we're ready for today's opening pitch and the play-by-play. So let's return to the field and rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Welcome back to the Procter & Gamble broadcast booth. Procter & Gamble in Berkeley County is now hiring. Go to pgcareers.com to apply. Matt Miller, Matt Crawford, John Alderton here at P.O. Faulkner Park. Patrick Feely, our producer and engineer, back at the studio. It's Hedgesville at Martinsburg, a matchup that we look forward to seeing not only tonight, but next week in the sectional tournaments. On the mound taking his warm-up tosses, Martinsburg starter Darryl Pope.
Darryl Pope comes in with an 8-1 record on the season. That's through 46 innings of work on the mound, a 3.24 ERA, 49 hits, 23 runs given up, 20 counted to him as earned runs, 54 strikeouts, 21 base on balls in start number 10 for him on the season. Will be the last regular season start for Mr. Pope.
Yeah, he has really come on, having a strong season, 8 wins and 1 loss. You've got to love the fact that he's got 9 decisions in what will be his 12th game coming in and his 10th start. So you go backwards one and go 11 games and 9 starts and 9 decisions. That means he has pitched well enough to keep you in every game, and that's what Martinsburg wants today. An opportunity in this one to get back in the win column, although officially yesterday did not happen as Martinsburg suffered what they thought was a 5-0 loss against Central Woodstock out of Virginia, but because they did not get completely through the 5th, we were finding out earlier during Miller time that game does not count. Today's opening pitch brought to you by the Mortgage Center on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, where Mark and Cheryl Savitt treat you like family with personal one-on-one service. They'll walk with you from application to settlement with low interest rates and closing costs. Josh Rush stands in, takes the first pitch, a fastball down the middle at the knees. That is strike one, and it comes at 7:07. Hey, don't let somebody throw you a curve when it comes to your mortgage. Go to mortgagefinancing.com. Here's a sharp hit ball on one hop to third, a diving stop by Trey Sign, but he cannot get the throw across the diamond as it bounces over the head of Nicholas Wright. And after making a great play to stop the baseball, it still ends up being an E5, allowing Josh Rush to go to second base.
It's a phenomenal play by Trey Sign, diving to his left to make sure he got that baseball, but then popped up and short arm. You can tell just didn't follow through on the throw, just short-armed it just a little bit, and that ball hitting the lip of the grass in the dirt right in front of first base and popping well over the head of Nicholas Wright. So now runner on second base, no outs here in the top of inning number 1.
And it brings up the very dangerous Chase DeLauder, starting center fielder in the number 2 spot in the order, and the left-hand batter takes a fastball on the outside corner. That is strike one. By the way, you can reach the Mortgage Center not only at mortgagefinancing.com, but phone 304-267-9040. Pope looks at the runner at second, comes to the plate, sharp hit ground ball off the front slope of the mound. It skips up into the air over the head of the shortstop and out into center field. Coming up with it, Bartley in his throw to the infield, cut off by first baseman Nicholas Wright. DeLauder has an RBI single, his 37th run batted in on the year, and Hedgesville takes the very fast 1-0 lead.
Well, you said very fast. Only took 4 pitches, and Martinsburg's only down 1-0. And that error costing them a run early in this one as Josh Rush able to get to second base after a great play by Trey Sign, again, just knocking the ball down, just couldn't make the throw. And that is RBI number 37 on the year for Chase DeLauder and hit number 46.
And one thing you do have to say, both balls have been hit hard, even though Sign was able, to make a diving stop on the first one. Kyle West in the left-hand batter's box takes down and in. That is ball 1. West is the lone sophomore in the lineup. 3 seniors, 5 juniors starting today for Hedgesville. Toss over to first, and Nicholas Wright able to pull that one in as DeLauder went back in standing. Wright having to look into that sun until it sets as it goes down off the left field side here at P.O. Faulkner Park. Not easy. 1-0 delivery due. There goes the runner, and the hit the other way out into left field in front of the base runner DeLauder, who will slow down as he gets to second and stay put there. A little hit and run for head coach Eric Grove and the Hedgesville Eagles, and Kyle West goes the other way to put runners at first and second.
It didn't quite look like Grant Harmon was going over to cover on the steal, but maybe to back up as he was shaded more towards second base, but not making an attempt to go to second as if he was going to try to cover the bag as DeLauder was on the move with the pitch. But unfortunately, he was just out of position. A good piece of hitting by Kyle West to drive it the other way.
Brady Weaver to the plate, takes an off-speed pitch that misses high for ball 1. 1-0 Hedgesville, nobody out, an error and a pair of singles to get this one started. Has Hedgesville on the board. Pope ready, and the pitch hit in the air high, pretty deep into center. Bartley moving back on it to his left. He's got it measured and makes the grab, turns and fires back to the infield. Grant Harmon, the shortstop, pulls it in, but not before DeLauder advances from second to third. West stays put at first, so runners at the corners now with one away.
And so far, every batter has seen just 2 pitches. And whether it's been a first pitch strike or ball, they've all taken a cut at the second pitch as they check back to second base to make sure DeLauder didn't leave early. He did not, as Aaron Pearson steps out in front of home plate to give the first and third defensive signals.
Parker Martin to the plate with runners at the corners, just one away. Martin looking to get this one out of the infield somewhere where he could produce another run. Already a 1-0 Hedgesville lead. First pitch, a fastball low and outside, ball 1. Nice play by Bartley in center on that fly ball from Weaver. When it came off the bat, I thought it may be over the head of Bartley, but he tracked it down, made a good throw back to the infield as well. Here's that 1-0 pitch. This one lifted in the air into center field. Bartley ranging over a little to his left. He's under it, will make the catch, and the throw through to the cutoff, and scoring from third on the play is Chase DeLauder. Martin does his job, delivers a sacrifice fly to center field, RBI number 17 on the season, and with 2 outs and a runner still at first, Hedgesville takes the 2-0 lead.
You said it perfectly. Parker Martin did his job, drove in his 17th run of the season, and the streak of only seeing 2 pitches continues. Just 2 pitches to Parker Martin.
See what Jamison Matthew does. Number 6 hitter in the order. A right-hand batter against the right-hand pitcher. Pope is ready, and the first pitch fouled to the screen just to the right of our position. Count at 0-1.
And you know Matthew's going to swing the bat. 23 for 76 on the season, a 303 average. 19 strikeouts to just 3 walks. So he is not taking too many pitches, and he is going to swing the bat for sure.
West with his lead at first, and a toss over to chase him back on the dive. Nicholas Wright did not seem to have any issues with the sun as he pulled that one in. No chance to get West as he went back. He stretches out a pretty good lead. 0-1 pitch due. Here it comes. And that breaking pitch misses high, and that's going to break the string as the count goes to 1-1, and Jamison Matthew will become the first batter to see more than 2 pitches in an at-bat.
Which is good if you've scored 2 runs. It's frustrating for a coach if you haven't seen the success in this thing that Hedgesville has.
Another 1-1 pitch fouled, straight back. It's now a ball and 2 strikes. That pitch up just a little bit. Matthew was on it, except it came off the top of the bat to the backstop.
Yeah, on it time-wise, just a little underneath it when taking that cut.
If he can get on top of it and straighten it out, he'll send that one right back into center. Pope now a pitch away from getting out of the inning. The 1-2 is due. There goes the runner, and the pitch popped up on the right side of the infield. It's the second baseman, Ashton Stobbs, several steps backpedaling out into the outfield grass, making the grab to retire the side. Still, the damage is done. An error, a pair of base hits, including an RBI single from Chase DeLauder, and then a sac fly from Parker Martin, has Hedgesville out in front after a half an inning. It's Hedgesville 2, Martinsburg coming to bat.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
Prepare for what's next or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
Parker Martin toes the pitching rubber, working his warm-up tosses with catcher Brady Weaver. He'll face Grant Harmon, Nicholas Wright, and Ashton Stobbs. The top 3 in the Martinsburg order. Parker Martin, a strong season. I'm a bit surprised, Matt, when you look at his ERA, that his win total's not more.
Yeah, he won 3.3 ERA. He's looking to pick up win number 4 on the year. Only 4 decisions so far. Is that 3-1 record and 26 1/3 innings on the mound. 22 hits given up, 14 runs, but only 5 of those are earned runs. So the defense hasn't necessarily been what he wants behind him. See if that can improve today. 24 strikeouts to 15 walks in start number 7. This will be his 8th overall appearance.
Grant Harmon into the right-hand batter's box. Bottom of the first underway with a fastball down low and outside. Bounces away from Brady Weaver, and that is ball 1.
Harmon at leadoff spot, 37 for 86. It's a .430 average. He's got 1 home run on the year, 26 runs driven in, 18 walks, 16 strikeouts, a .529 on-base percentage.
1-0 pitch just a bit low and maybe off that outside corner as well. The Hedgesville faithful wanted it but did not get the call. 2 balls and no strikes. Sure, Parker Martin wanted it as well. That was a pretty good-looking pitch. 2-0 lined into the gap in right center field. It is down and headed for the fence. It'll be extra bases for the speedy Grant Harmon. He'll round to second, head for third. Here comes the relay throw, and it will not be in time. It's a stand-up triple for Harmon to get it started for Martinsburg.
And he fires up the bench. Clappin now standing on third base, trying to fire up his teammates, screaming into the dugout, and that's a great way to get it started for a guy who had a phenomenal game last night, and the game that wasn't went 2 for 2, and the only 2 hits for Martinsburg last night in that game against Central. So he is feeling it right now.
Well, and after giving up 2 in that top of the first, no better way to get it started in the bottom of the inning. And now with a run just 90 feet away, Nicholas Wright takes a fastball outside for ball 1. Wright, the senior first baseman, in the number 2 spot in the order. On senior night, Martinsburg has 7 seniors in the starting lineup and 2 juniors. Wright swings, may have gotten just a piece. Sounded like a little bit of a tick off the bat. Hung on to by Weaver, 1-1.
It was a late decision by Nicholas Wright to even take a cut there. You could tell not a full body swing as he chokes up on the baseball bat about 2 inches.
Swings and misses at a pitch down in the dirt. It bounces away from Weaver to his left, but not far enough for Harmon to try to score from third. Count now a ball and 2 strikes on Wright.
Wright, a .373 hitter. That's courtesy of 31 hits in 83 at-bats. Driven in 27. Number 28 standing just about 87 feet now with his lead. Away from home plate is Grant Harmon.
Swinging at the 1-2. Wright fouls it out of play along that third base side. Count holding it a ball and 2 strikes. Again, the glass shatters. I love the sound effect. The 1-2 is due. Wright awaits. Martin is ready. Here's the pitch, and it's a slow tapper. Third base side. Charging on it is Rush. He'll bobble it, pick it up, look at the runner at third. Has no play. Now throws in behind the runner, but Harmon was back standing on third base. And we'll wait and see how this one may be ruled. Maybe just as good as a swinging bunt. I'm not sure Rush really had a chance to get him at first as slowly as that ball was hit, and with Wright coming out of that left-hand batter spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure there was even going to be a play made. It wouldn't have surprised me if Josh Rush faked a throw and tried to get Grant Harmon back at third. So I think that's going to go down as an infield single.
So put runners at the corners for Ashton Stobbs. Martin working from the first base side of the pitching rubber from the stretch, delivers just down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Stobbs, the guy you want at the plate right now, tied with Trey Sign with 33 runs batted in. He's been hitting it well. He swings, pops this one up. Foul territory, third base side. Josh Rush, the third baseman there, makes the grab and then looks at the runners. Big out as Stobbs sent that one right up the elevator shaft. A nice play by Josh Rush. You could hear him from here calling off the pitcher, calling off the catcher as they were headed down the line after it, and he makes the play.
And that's such a big out because that now sets up the double play with Nicholas Wright standing at first base. And if you're Martinsburg, you've got to get Grant Harmon in from third here. You have a leadoff triple to start your half of the inning. You can't leave that man stranded at third base.
It brings up, Trey Sign, and he'll swing and foul one. Out of play down the right field line. Count 0-1 to the Bulldog junior third baseman.
Sign pretty productive with runners in scoring position. He's driven in 33 on the year. A .376 batting average, 35 hits on the season, and 93 at-bats.
Right-hand batter versus right-hand pitcher. Fouls that one straight back towards us. Count at 0-2. On that pitch, but again, got just underneath of it. If he can get that bat up just a little bit more, chance to hit that one hard somewhere. Runners at the corners with 1 away. Martinsburg batting bottom of the first. Hedgesville holding a 2-0 lead. Parker Martin from the stretch. That 0-2 delivery. Off-speed runners on the move. Pitch lifted in the air into the gap in left center. It's down. Could be extra bases. Grant Harmon waited to see. He comes home to score. Nicholas Wright was off and will make the wide turn, but now stays put at third base. Head coach Aaron Byler, I think, wanted him to continue all the way around as he's still holding that conversation with Nicholas Wright, who held up at third base.
Well, I agree he should have been waved around, but Byler threw his hands up as soon as Wright got about 2 steps off of third base after touching it. So unless that's a sign that I'm not used to, it looked pretty clear to me that Byler was waving him around third and then told him to hold up.
I'm not sure as the two held that discussion at the end. Either way, it's RBI number 34 on the double for Trey Sign. Martinsburg within a run, 2-1. Aaron Pearson at the plate. He takes the first pitch for a strike. He stands back in and takes this one in the backside. Hit by the pitch. Aaron Pearson will take first base, and Martinsburg will have runners at first, second, and third. They're loaded for Darrell Pope, a chance to help himself.
We have a courtesy runner that is not on
45. That's Aaron Butler.
Gotcha.
They have different numbers because of the purple Strikeout Cancer Night jerseys. So that is Aaron Butler, who is serving as the courtesy runner for Aaron Pearson. Courtesy runner for catcher and pitcher on the high school level. So Darrell Pope, a chance to help his own cause, takes a fastball about belt high. It's on the outside corner for strike one. You now have Wright at third, Sign at second, Butler aboard at first. Matthews plays in front of the runner at first. Rush in on the grass as well at third. Middle infielders are back. Swing and a miss at the breaking pitch. Pope was fooled by that one. It's 0-2. Good-looking pitch from Martin. Kept it down, changed speeds, and now he's ahead in the count. One down in the inning. Martinsburg with a chance for a big bottom of the first after giving up 2 in the top of the inning. 0-2 pitch to Pope, missing outside off the mid of Weaver. But again, the runners all hold. Count at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lights are on, but the skies still at twilight. They really won't take effect for another inning or so. 1-2 delivery off speed, popped up into shallow right field. Second baseman going back. Bub's not going to get there. It drops. It's in for a base hit. They do have a chance to get a force out at second, and they will, as Butler had to wait and make sure whether that ball was going to be caught. Nicholas Wright is able to come home and score from third. Trey Sign advances from second to third, and Darrell Pope is aboard at first. He will get the RBI, his 26th on the season, but instead of a hit, it turns into a fielder's choice.
It's the longest fielder's choice you'll ever see on a ball hit into right field.
The 9-6 fielder's choice. Looks like Jamison Matthew is going to hold the runner. Initially, he was going to play behind the runner, but with runners at the corners now and 2 outs, and Cam Burnett to the plate, they want him to hold that runner on at first. Here comes the pitch, and the fastball misses up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Boy, have we had a lot of action already in this one. Martinsburg sent 6 to the plate and scored 2 runs. Hedgesville in the first sent 6 to the plate and scored 2 runs. Martinsburg has their 7th batter at the plate in the bottom of the first. They've scored 2 runs and a chance for more with runners at the corners as the 1-0 pitch misses. 2 balls, no strikes. Harmon tripled and scored. Wright followed with an infield single. He scored. Trey Sign, who had an RBI double, stands at third, and Darrell Pope with the RBI fielder's choice at first. Here's the pitch cued off the end of the bat, foul over towards the Hedgesville dugout first base side. It's 2-1. Martinsburg getting just what they wanted in this bottom of the first. You give up a couple of runs, you want to try to answer right away. Don't allow Hedgesville to get that momentum, and Martinsburg has wrestled it right back. 2-1 pitch, popped foul, back out of play, right over our heads. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count.
Cam Burnett looking for hit number 26 on the season, 25, 471 coming in. It's good enough for a 352 average. Also looking for RBI number 26, as he's got RBI 26 standing just 90 feet away at third base with Trey Sign.
Open stance in that right-hand batter's box, takes a breaking pitch that stays up high, and the count goes full at 3-2. So a full count pitch due to Burnett. And that will put the runner at first in motion as Darrell Pope can be off, and there he goes, and the pitch is lined over the head of the second baseman out into center field for a hit. Making his turn, Pope will stop at second base. Chase DeLauder slipped as he got to the baseball. Pope, not realizing it, had made his turn and goes back to second base. Cam Burnett comes up with that clutch base hit. RBI number 26, and Martinsburg takes the lead 3-2.
And I get Chase DeLauder has a strong arm in center field. Darrell Pope was moving on the pitch. There's no reason he should still be at second base. That still would have been a very tough throw for Chase DeLauder to make. And 2 outs, you're going on the crack of the bat. And he was moving even before the pitch with the full count. There should be runners at the corner right now.
Brings up right fielder Noah Brittner, a right-hand batter who will take a breaking pitch down low in the dirt. Bounces away from Brady Weaver, and that is ball one. Runners at first and second with Pope at second, Burnett at first. Brittner, a .400 batting average.
4 for 10 on the season.
A limited number of at-bats. 4 hits, 10 at-bats, and one of those has been a double. Swings, pops this one foul back over the press box. Count at 1-1. He'll take his time before stepping back in a key situation with 2 outs, 2 on, 3 runs in, 3-2 Martinsburg, bottom of the first. Fastball at the knees, in there for a called strike 2. Now you got to protect if you're Brittner. He does have a couple of walks for a .538 on-base percentage. Has struck out 2 times. The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch. Martin takes another glance back at the runner at second. Comes with the off-speed pitch. Just missed high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think Brittner was getting ready to go back to the dugout on that one. Kind of slowly backed out and began to turn his head, and then his attitude changed immediately.
You watch second baseman, shortstop, third baseman, pitcher. All of them took that step towards the dugout as they all were expecting strike 3 and didn't get it. So now the 2-2 due. Here it comes. Off-speed ground at third base side. It's a fair ball inside the bag off the glove of Rush, who was moving over to his right and trying to backhand. He's able to pick it up in foul territory over near the fencing that goes out of play, and all runners will advance 1 base. Pope to third, Burnett to second, and Brittner at first on the infield base hits.
And they call third base the hot corner. Poor Josh Rush right now has just been dealt some awkward hits down that line. Had a slow roller early in this one off the bat of Nicholas Wright, and that one a tough play for him to make because it was hugging that foul line.
Well, Trenton Sherman being called on to serve as a courtesy runner for Darrell Pope out at third base. So Pope will get in with an opportunity to rest a little bit before towing that pitching rubber again when we go to the top of the second. Number 9 hitter in the order is Austin Bartley. He takes ball 1. The center fielder, one of 2 juniors in the starting lineup. A right-hand batter awaits. He swings, lifts this one foul out of play first base side. Now at 1 ball and 1 strike. So already 15 batters that we have seen in this first inning. 6 for Hedgesville, 9 now for Martinsburg. 1-1 on the way, and it is taken for a strike. Sherman is at third with Burnett at second, Brittner at first. Bases are loaded. 3-2 Martinsburg with the lead, looking for more. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Here it comes. That off-speed stays high. Now 2-2. That one a bit inside as well. Had Bartley ducking down. He's a .347 hitter. No homer, 17 driven in. Good production out of the bottom of the order. The 2-2 pitch to the plate. It's hit on a line into right field and in and out of the glove of the right fielder, Ryan Fry. It hit the heel of his glove, and all hands will be safe. It'll be an error allowing Sherman to cross from third, and Martinsburg will still have the bases loaded with a 4-2 lead.
And Ryan Fry looked like he had a pretty good read on that baseball, but the last minute kind of had to awkwardly bend the knees a little more than he was expecting to, and just made a kind of an awkward play to bring it in that was going to be right at the bat chest level rather than seeing that ball in coming straight up and down.
Back to the top of the order in Grant Harmon. He got this whole mess started with a triple into the gap in right center, and he takes outside for ball 1. 4 runs scoring in the inning, and Martinsburg looking for more. The 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. That one down and in, and does stay around home plate. From my vantage point, I couldn't tell as it got through Brady Weaver. It must have hit our plate umpire, and we've got time being taken as Derek Snyder going to head out to the mound. The pitching coach, a former pitcher for these Hedgesville Eagles, key part of that 2013 state championship team. He's out to try to settle things down for Parker Martin. It's been a tough inning.
And I just keep going back to Grant Harmon was stranded on third base, and I was making the comment there's no way they can get out of this inning without getting Grant Harmon across the plate, because the way things are going, it was a possibility that wasn't going to happen. All of a sudden you blink a couple of times and they're all the way through the batting order. Harmon's up to bat again, and 4 runs have come across home plate, 6 total here in the first inning, and it's not over yet.
2-0 the count to Harmon. Conference on the mound concludes, and Parker Martin will go back to work with the bases loaded. The pitch to Harmon, missing down and in. 3 balls and no strikes. There is no place to put him. There has been 1 hit batter so far by Martin, but he has not walked a batter. He'll put this one right down the middle. Now 3-1. We'll see if Harmon gets a green light or if he's going to make him throw another. Harmon very good with 2 strikes on him. So we'll see. Here's that 3-ball, no strike, or 3-ball, 1 strike pitch, and it's low and outside. There is ball 4, and Harmon collects his 27th run batted in on the season with a bases-loaded walk. Burnett comes home to score from third. Run number 5 as Martinsburg leads 5-2. Brittner now at third with Bartley at second and Harmon at first.
And some action already down in the Hedgesville bullpen, trying to get a number. Looks like a single digit.
First pitch to Nicholas, right, high and outside. 4-1.
Looks like it could be a 7, possibly Ty Snyder. Not sure. Again, it's all the way down the right field line, so not 100% sure on that number.
1-0 pitch grounded towards the shortstop. A diving stop by West. He'll get it to the second baseman, and wow, just in time to get him. Tyler Bubb stretching out was able to grab that one off the top of the dirt just before hustling Grant Harmon slid into second.
Barely. That couldn't have been by more than about 3 or 4 inches. Harmon didn't like the call, but a bang-bang play at second base. What a first inning. 7 runs between the two teams, 5 for Martinsburg here in the bottom of the first, and if it keeps going like this, we're going to have ourselves a slugfest here today.
Well, let's see if they settle down or if the offense continues. The fielder's choice 6-4 ends the inning, but not before Martinsburg puts 5 on the board, and after 1, it is Martinsburg 5, Hedgesville 2.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
He literally saved my life. It's just mind-boggling.
Logically advanced Ram 1500 ever, and right now you can save $11,300. Get a 2019 Jeep Compass for $199 a month for 42 months with $3,399 down. At Miller Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram's 10 Days to Deal event, you get $1,000 CCAP bonus cash on Ram, Grand Cherokee, Durango, and Pacifica with no payments for 90 days. Miller Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 9 east of Martinsburg, home of a lifetime powertrain warranty.
We go to the top half of inning number 2. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming up for Hedgesville. They put 2 on the board on 2 hits and an error in that first inning against Darryl Pope. Pope towing the pitching rubber, delivers to Ryan Fry, lifts it in the air and out of play down the right field line. Fry, the junior right fielder, will be followed by Tyler Bubb and then Caleb Brown. Pope in the first 14 pitches, 10 for strikes. Comes back with a breaking pitch that stays high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count on Fry.
How about that bottom of the first inning for Martinsburg? 5 runs on 5 hits. And only 1 walk in there, only 1 error. They just did a good job at hitting the baseball.
Here's a swing and a ground ball towards the third baseman. A diving stop by Sign to his feet, makes the throw. Nice stretch at first by Nicholas Wright, and they get the out. Well, the second starts like the first when Josh Rush hit it sharply. Sign made the diving stop, but then couldn't get the throw to first base. This time he does to retire Fry.
Yeah, a little bit of a short arm in the first. That one he put the entire arm into. That one even probably a little higher than Nicholas Wright would like. But was able to bring it in a bang-bang play at first. Good job by Ryan Fry hustling down the first base line, but a great throw by Trey Sign.
Fry robbed of a hit. Base is empty. One away. Brings up Tyler Bubb, who takes down low for ball one. Bubb, the starting second baseman, a senior. One of three seniors in today's starting lineup. Right-hand batter against right-hand pitcher, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. It's 1-1.
But pretty efficient in that first inning. 14 pitches.
Yeah, he only went more than 2 pitches to one batter. And that was 4 pitches that it took to retire Jamison Matthew. The 1-1 here, a little inside to Bubb, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Bubb hitting .238, no homer, 7 driven in. Bounces this one in the hole at short. Ranging over is Harmon. He fields and makes the throw to first, and they call him safe at first. And apparently Nicholas Wright pulled his foot off the bag before pulling it in. Keith Allison, our base umpire, immediately signaled safe at first.
And our cameraman, John Alderton, saying the same thing, that apparently pushed off a little too soon. And sometimes that's just reflex with first baseman. You want to just pop off that bag really quick. And a lot of times, umpires will just give it to you when you're just making that one fluid motion.
It'll be an E3 as he pulled the foot before the runner got there. And otherwise, they would have had the out. Caleb Brown to the plate, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. So an error in the first, now an error in the second for this Bulldog defense. Brown, the junior left fielder, bats from the left side, open stance in the back of the box, crowds the plate as he takes up and away. It's 1-1. Hitting .327, that's 16 hits, 49 at-bats, no home runs. He's driven in 6. Has a hole to hit through his right, holds the runner at first. Bubb with a short lead. Fastball to the plate, missing high, now 2 balls and a strike. 5-2, Martinsburg leading, Hedgesville batting, 1 out, 1 on, top of the second. Pope from the stretch, looks over at the runner at first. Again, a very short lead for Bubb as this pitch misses high and outside, 3-1. He's got the timber lead at first.
Yeah.
You know what that one is, right?
Yes.
If he's a tree and you cut him off at the ankles and push him towards first and he falls, he touches the base. He lands on it. Timber! That's the lead. Wright holds him on as the 3-1 pitch is due. Here it comes, and it's a strike on the outside corner. Brown was ready to head towards first base, but that's a borderline strike that will bring it to a full count. Pope looking in at Aaron Pearson. Peers over his shoulder at the runner, comes to the plate, in on the hands of Brown. He fights it off, a foul ball just beyond the third base dugout where Martinsburg is stationed. Got that one out of play.
Extremely late swing by Caleb Brown just to protect. But a good job living to see another pitch.
So again, the 3-2 is due. Bubb his lead at first. With just 1 out, you wouldn't expect him to be going, especially with that short lead. And here's a fastball outside, and that is ball 4. So runners at first and second. The first walk for Pope, his 22nd on the season. We're back to the top of the order, and Josh Rush. Rush hit it hard his first time up. Reached on an E5 as Trey Sign made the diving stop, but then an errant throw to first. Pope with the first pitch of the at-bats in there at the belt for strike 1. Rush, a .344 hitter with a homer and 13 driven in out of that leadoff spot. Swings and bounces this one foul over towards the Martinsburg dugouts.
Look alive down the third base line. A couple of coaches having to jump off the buckets to get out of the way.
Zeke Grissinger made a bare hand stab at it. I don't know that he got it.
Didn't come up with it.
Kurt Zarnecki got out of the way and he hit the bucket the way that he is pointing, which is a good thing. 0-2 pitch hit sharply on a line into left field. Coming in on a Cam Burnett. He'll play it on one bounce, quickly getting it into the infield. It will bounce away momentarily from third baseman Trey Sign, but the runners all hold as the bases are loaded. Bub at third, Brown at second, Rush aboard at first on the base hit.
That makes that error by Nicholas Wright just that much bigger. You get two down in the first two batters. Caleb Brown's probably coming up with a little bit different of an approach, and Darrell Pope's probably thrown with a little bit different of an approach, and now it's just one down. The bases are juiced.
It brings up Chase DeLauder, who takes a fastball high for ball one.
And this is a batter that you'd like to kind of pitch around, not necessarily intentionally, Walker, though we have seen that quite a bit this year, but just kind of pitch around DeLauder, and unfortunately, with the bases loaded, you can't do that.
Pope to the plate with a pitch that was down low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, tough batter here. DeLauder had an RBI single up the middle his first time up. He's hitting .563 with a .660 on-base percentage. He is a very tough out, and the 2-0 pitch off the outside corner, ball 3.
Well, right now it's looking like everybody's a tough out in this ball game. No out has come easy. And 7 runs in that first inning, and looks like a couple more could cross here in the top of the second.
Now Pope delivers to the plate, a pitch that misses high. That is ball 4. 22nd time this season that DeLauder has drawn a walk. He'll collect another run batted in, his 38th on the season, as the bases loaded walk scores Bub from third. They remain loaded with Brown now at third, Rush at second, and DeLauder at first. Kurt Zarnecki off that bucket and out to the mound as the Martinsburg pitching coach talking with Darrell Pope.
Not what I expected of this game so far. You look at the two guys that were pitching, and the 3.04 ERA for Darrell Pope, again, 46 innings of work, not bad. 54 strikeouts on the year, and then Parker Martin in 26 and a third, 24 strikeouts in the year and a 1.33 ERA. So not necessarily the game you would expect to be a all right, who's going to score more runs kind of thing and win a 13-12 ball game, but that's what it's shaping up for right now.
Kyle West singled his first time up. He stands in with the bases loaded. Action back underway as the left-hand batter takes a strike on the outside corner.
Corners are not playing in with the bases loaded, so everybody playing double play depth right now, or normal depth, if you will.
Off-speed pitch, high and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So they'd be willing potentially to give up that run to get an out. Right now a 5-3 Martinsburg lead with Bub scoring on the bases loaded walk to DeLauder. West swings, fouls the 1-1 out of play third base side. A ball and 2 strikes. Brady Weaver due next. Just 1 out in the inning. And the error at first, really what opened the floodgates. The 1-2 on the way, off-speed pitch, hit into that gap in right center field. Not sure anybody's going to get there. Nope. Austin Bartley, the center fielder, has to play it on a bounce. Gets it into the shortstop, but not before a couple of runs come home to score as Caleb Brown crosses from third. Rush, who was at second, rounds third. He scores as well, and we've got a tie ball game on the 2 RBI single from Kyle West. It sends Chase DeLauder to third.
And now a tie ball game at 5 in the top of inning number 2. Not quite what we've seen in a lot of ball games this year in our coverage. We've seen some higher scoring ball games, but not this early. It's usually when the bullpen comes in at some point, but again, this is shaping up to be one of those double-digit games where it's going to be 14 runs to win it.
Swinging away at the first pitch, Brady Weaver grounds it in the hole. It's short. Harmon has it, goes to second for 1. That relay throw to first is a little high, but Wright is able to get it as it careens off the fence right back towards him. DeLauder comes home to score from third. Kyle West is erased at second on the out that goes 6-4 for the second out of the inning, and Brady Weaver will reach at first base on the fielder's choice He will get a run batted in, his 25th on the season, as Hedgesville takes the 6-5 lead. And it looks like Matt Rupenthal serving as a courtesy runner for Weaver at first, as Parker Martin sends one high and deep into left field, but nicely played by Cam Burnett as he gets under it and hauls in that fly ball to retire the side. So Parker Martin goes after the first pitch he sees and flies out to left. It ends the inning, but 8 batters come to the plate and 4 runs cross as we go to the bottom of the second. It's now Hedgesville 6 and Martinsburg 5.
Welcome to La Bella Vita, named for my Grandma Vita.
West Virginia. Be a part of the team that makes products used every day, like Bounce and Joy dishwashing liquid. New hire employees start at entry level at $17.50 per hour and climb to an average of $48,500 in 5 years. Benefits include health, dental, 401k, paid vacation and holidays, and profit sharing. To learn more, text the letters PG to 800-222-1069. That's 800-222-1069. Text PG or apply at pgcareers.com. Click Plan Technicians, then choose Martinsburg location. Procter & Gamble is an equal opportunity employer.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martin.
To the beautiful life, La Bella Vita.
The sun setting. We didn't think we'd see the sun today, but it has turned out to be a beautiful day around the eastern panhandle. See how much longer the nice weather lasts, as we have cloud cover and a chance of showers and thunderstorms in that forecast for tomorrow. Right now at about 80%. We're at 79 degrees in Martinsburg overnight tonight, a low of 62. Tomorrow, look for that high around 79. Here we go, bottom half of inning number 2. Ashton Stobbs at the plate, takes the first pitch down low and away from Parker Martin. That is ball 1. Martin in that first inning threw 39 pitches, 21 for strikes, giving up 5 runs on 5 hits with a walk and a hit batter, and error committed behind him as well. Stobbs takes a strike, and the 1-1 pitch to the plate, down low and outside, 2-1. Ashton Stobbs with a pop out in foul territory to the third baseman his first time up. The 2-1 on the way, and it's a bouncing ball fair inside that third base bag down the left field line, where Caleb Brown moves over and grabs it. Here's the throw to second, could have a play. Head first dive for Ashton Stobbs, and he gets in ahead of the would-be tag from Tyler Bob.
And that is just heads-up baseball by Ashton Stobbs, realizing his speed and realizing the arm of Caleb Brown, and just making a really good play on the base paths, getting into second base.
13th double on the season for Ashton Stobbs. Puts himself in scoring position for Trey Sign, and the hit parade continues. 6 hits now for Martinsburg. What happened to last night when they had 2, both from Grant Harmon? Sign squares, bunts, pops it up in behind home plate for strike 1. No chance for Brady Weaver to get to that one, as he quickly got rid of his mask but turned and ended up almost chest to chest with plate umpire Buck Hoffmaster, who could not get out of the way.
Didn't necessarily make an attempt to get out of the way. Was just kind of standing there.
And not sure there would have been a chance for Weaver to get to that one
anyway. It would have been an amazing play.
By the way, Keith Allison is our umpire on the bases, our 2-man umpiring crew. Sign had a double to drive home run his first time up. He takes this pitch inside. That one just missed him, and it's 1-1. You can see the look on his face as that one went by. Aaron Pearson due next. Martinsburg trying to answer as they're now down by a run again. Here's a swing and a ground ball on the right side of the infield. Nice job by Trey Sign. The second baseman Tyler Bubb coming in, able to scoop it and throw one to first in time to get him. But Sign going the other way, hitting behind the base runner, allows Stobbs to move from second to third.
You could tell that was his intent, because that ball well out of the strike zone. He just took a step towards a first base and did anything he could just to get the barrel of the bat on it. And almost beat that throw out down the first base line. Good effort out of the box by Sign.
Pearson will stand in, having been hit by a pitch his first time up. He will take a breaking ball high for ball 1. Pearson with 13 runs batted in on the season. Looking for number 14. If he can score Stobbs, we'll have a tie game. Miller ready, and the pitch, and it's hit in the air into right field, and this should get the job done. Ryan Fry ranging over. He's got it, tagging at third. Here comes the runner and the throw. The throw cut off by Jamison Matthew as Stobbs scores from third. We got a tie ball game at 6 on the sac fly from Aaron Pearson.
He did the job he needed to do. A couple of good examples of small ball right there, and people doing their jobs and working the runners around. It was a good job by Trey Sign, the previous batter, to move Ashton Stobbs from second to third, which was as good as a swinging bunt to the right side. Then a good job by Pearson just lifting one into the outfield far enough to make sure that Stobbs could score.
It'll bring to the plate Darrell Pope. Number 6 hitter in the order, had an RBI fielder's choice ground out his first time up. He will take strike one. Well, not really a ground out. It was that soft liner over the head of Bub, the second baseman. But the right fielder Fry was able to pick it up and throw to second to get a force out as he came with the bases loaded. 0-1 pitch missing outside, 1-1.
Not by much.
Once again, the Hedgesville faithful wanted that strike call, did not get it. Now the 1-1 is due. Martin to the plate, and it's hit in the air into right field. Fry moving over to his right and coming in, makes the grab to retire the side. But a leadoff double, a ground out, and a sacrifice fly allow Martinsburg to score the game-tying run. 2 innings in the books, and we're tied at 6.
Seven, 12.
51.
You're about to tell me how many strikes there were, too, aren't you?
28. No runners left. How you doing?
We're going to have a dog everywhere we go. Makes the broadcast more enjoyable.
It is kind of weird, though, when your knee is being licked in the midst of the in-between.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
When you're hurting, and Charlestown Ranson, we're here when you need us.
Tonight, Jamison Matthew, the due batter, as we go to the top of the third, and swinging at the first pitch, he sends a fly ball to straightaway center field. Austin Bartley camps under it and makes the grab for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out in the Hedgesville third. Here in the top of the third, we'll give you a trivia question and the station telephone number. First to call and get through with the correct answer, picking up 4 tickets to a Hagerstown Suns minor league baseball game, as well as $30 in gift certificates to grab dinner at Haas's Steak and Sea. Just be the first to call and get through with the correct answer when we give our trivia question. First pitch to Ryan Fry, outside for ball 1. Fry bounced out to third in that second inning. That was that fine diving stop by Trey Sign where he threw him out at first. Here's a slow roller third base side into foul territory. Count 1-1. Let's get to our trivia question. Today's question, who holds the record for hitting the most Grand Slam home runs in his major league career? Who holds the record for hitting the most Grand Slam home runs in his major league career? 304-263-6540. 304-263-6540 is the station telephone number. Check swing on the 1-1, a foul ball first base side. Count to Ryan Fry at a ball and 2 strikes. Be the first to call and get through and talk with Patrick Feely, and you will be the winner. Patrick will get your name and your address, your telephone number as well, so we can keep in contact and make sure we get those tickets to you. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery. Here it comes. Popped up foul out of play just to the right of the press box. We'll do it all over again. One more time. Name the major league player who holds the record for most Grand Slam home runs in his career. 304-263-6540. Off-speed pitch from Pope. Misses inside as the count goes 2-2 to Fry. Fry with 4 hits in 22 at-bats. Coming into this at-bat, after being robbed of a hit his first time up, watches this fastball off that inside corner, and it's gone full at 3-2.
Fry just a ball away from drawing his 4th walk of the season. So it even his hit total as well as walks.
Well, the payoff pitch fouled off. That one skimming off the bat, skimming off the catcher. May have got a piece of the umpire as well on its way through to the backstop.
Hit them all.
Looked like he did there. So Fry stays alive, batting with the bases empty and 1 out. Tyler Bubb in the on-deck circle. We are tied at 6 in the top of the 3rd inning. A lot of offense so far in this one. Payoff pitch. Here it comes. It's lifted in the air into left field. Burnett moving over and in will make the grab for out number 2. Nice play moving towards the line to his right. Able to run it down. 2 outs on fly balls. 1 to center, 1 to left. And now it brings up Tyler Bubb.
It took a little bit, but it seems like both of our starters are starting to settle down a little bit, or maybe the hitter's just not nearly as fortunate at the plate.
Or they wore themselves out already.
Only 1 run in the bottom of the 2nd inning for Martinsburg, and so far 2 up, 2 down. It's a swing and a miss by Tyler Bubb.
Yeah, he was fooled by that pitch that started off the outside corner and continued to break away. Bubb reached on an error back in the 2nd inning, part of that 4-run onslaught. That put Hedgesville up by a run, only to see Martinsburg score in the bottom of the 2nd to tie it. Here's a pitch up for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Could we see the side set down in order for the first time? I know I probably shouldn't have said that, right? Pitch down low in the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike now to Bubb.
You can say because you don't believe in the broadcasters, Jenks.
Nope, not at all.
I do, but
nah. Bubb, 10 hits in 42 at-bats. Takes this fastball on the outside edge. That is a called strike. It's 2-2. Bubb with a .439 on-base percentage. Done a nice job of finding a way on, even though the average not where he'd like it to be. He'll take in the dirt for ball 3, and the count has gone full. Darrell Pope working from the first base side of that pitching rubber. The right-hander from the full windup has the sign from Aaron Pearson. And the 3-2 delivery, and it's a bouncer foul at the plate.
Got him in the foot.
Yeah, got the front foot of the batter. Maybe down across the ankle a little bit, the way that he just bent down and kind of felt at it and pushed his pant leg down. Hey, we've got a winner, Ryan Potts. Ryan, thanks for tuning in. He had the answer to our 3rd inning trivia. We'll give you the answer coming up in the bottom half of the 3rd. The 3-ball, 2-strike pitch, again due to Bubb. Here it comes, a swing and a ground ball in the hole at short. Backhanded by Harmon, sets and throws, and in time to get him. Nice defensive play by Harmon, a chance to again show off that strong arm. The side retired in order for the first time today. Told you there was no broadcasters, Jinx. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd when we come back. Still tied at 6.
16 pitches.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here. And it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Steak and see as we go to the bottom of the third. Let's throw that question out there and see if they've got the answer in the press box. Who holds the record for hitting the most Grand Slam home runs in his major league career? I was thinking old school at first, but it's a little more new school.
A little more?
Oh, all right, a lot more compared to the man in second place. I'll give you who's in second. Lou Gehrig had 23 Grand Slams as a member of the New York Yankees. The one that holds the record hit a few for the New York Yankees, but played for some other teams as well.
Only two others, right? Texas and Seattle?
There you go.
That should give it away for those of you who don't know it by now.
All right. Call it as it is.
A-Rod.
A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez, 25 career Grand Slams. Bottom of the third underway. Parker Martin out there. We've got him at 51 pitches through 2 innings. Goes to work facing Cam Burnett and delivers. Ball one. Burnett had an RBI single to right center his first time up. Swings and fouls this one back out of play. And the count at 1-1. Over a 22-year career, Rodriguez had 310 plate appearances with the bases loaded, hitting 25 home runs, 2 more than Lou Gehrig. In all, A-Rod hit 696 career homers. 1-1 pitch missing inside, 2 balls and a strike to the senior Cam Burnett. So Alex Rodriguez, the answer to our third inning trivia. Martin comes back with a 2-1 that's down low. May have been a little away as well. Count now at 3-1. We saw action in the pen back in the first inning when Martin ended up facing 11 batters and gave up 5 runs on 5 hits. But nobody loosening now as Burnett draws the leadoff walk, the 3-1 pitch down low and away. Base on balls number 2, along with a hit batter now for Parker Martin. Noah Brittner to the plate. And let's see if head coach Aaron Byler, with the number 8 hitter coming up, is ready to ask for a sacrifice to try to play for a run in this situation. Brittner reached on an infield single his first time up and pushes a bunt foul up the first base line for strike 1.
The attempt was there. Just couldn't quite get the execution at the plate by Brittner. A little too much force on that one and couldn't quite get the barrel of the bat where he needed to be to keep it in fair territory. And again, Brittner, not a guy who's had a lot of plate experience and probably has put down even less bunts when you look at this just being a plate appearance number 11 for him on the season. Make that number 12. 11 was back in that first inning.
He again shows bunt and tries to bunt, but bunts it foul at the plate. That one bouncing right at the feet of the catcher Weaver and then off to his right. He'll track it down in the count 0-2. That was a case there where Brittner kind of poked the bat out there at the ball as opposed to getting it out there and then letting the bat kind of absorb the ball. See if the bunt is off now with the 0-2 pitch due. It appeared to be off as Brittner takes high for a ball.
You know, what they tell you when you're growing up and even through the high school level, you got to kind of catch the ball with that bat. If you poke it out, you're going to hit it too hard, but the goal should be to kind of catch the ball with that bat.
The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch on the way, and it's popped up into shallow center field. Charging on it is DeLauder, and the center fielder will make the grab. Boy, he was not too far from the infield dirt as he was playing kind of shallow and then came in to field that pop-up.
He was playing kind of shallow, but at the same time, it's amazing how much ground he can make up in a little time because he was playing a little bit in for normal depth, but not overly aggressive playing in. And it just made it to almost the infield grass like it was nothing. It was able to get there and camp underneath it.
One away with that runner still at first. The number 9 hitter, Austin Bartley, standing in. 6-6 were tied. Martinsburg batting bottom of the third. Here's a pop-up, foul territory, first base side. Looks like Jamison Matthew has a play, and the first baseman does make the catch for out number 2.
About 8 people standing around first base right now between the 2 runners and the infielders coming over.
First base coach. It's Bo Bartley, I believe, if I can see correctly,
6.
getting out of the way.
It's 6. There's a nice little party over at first base.
Nice play by Matthew to stay with that one for out number 2. Burnett still at first as we go back to the top of the order, and the red-hot Grant Harmon. A triple in the first and a run scored and a bases-loaded walk in the first as well to bring home a run. Up for a third time against Parker Martin, and the first pitch, a strike on the outside corner. Breaking pitch. He was able to find the zone.
Got yourself a friend over there, Matt?
I do. I believe Daisy is her name. Here's a pitch grounded slowly towards the shortstop. Kyle West charging, has it underhand, tossed to second, and in time to get the force out of Burnett. Tyler Bubb, the second baseman, pulling that one in just before Burnett could get the foot in as he went in on that feet first slide. So Harmon bounces into the fielder's choice. It goes 6-4. It brings the inning to a close, and Martinsburg, despite getting a leadoff base runner on a walk, cannot take advantage. We've had our first scoreless inning. Neither team able to put a run on the board in the third. We'll go to the fourth inning when we come back, still tied at 6.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
WU Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants
repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
Whether you need business cards, banners,
when it comes to breast cancer, early detection is the key to saving lives. During the month of May, WVU Medicine Berkeley Medical Center is offering 3D mammogram screening clinics to women 35 and older every Saturday at our Tennessee Avenue Women's Imaging Center for just $60. This discounted fee is designed to help patients who haven't met their deductible, whose insurance doesn't include a mammogram with an annual exam, or for those with no insurance. Pick a Saturday in May and schedule your 3D mammogram at WVU Medicine Berkeley Medical.
Here we go to the top half of inning number 4 as we welcome you back into the Procter & Gamble broadcast booth. For information on a career with Procter & Gamble in Berkeley County, visit pgcareers.com. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. John Alderton running the TV10 camera. Patrick Feely, our producer and studio engineer. For the top of the fourth with your play-by-play, here's Matt.
Left-handed Caleb Brown steps in. He swings at the first pitch he sees and drives it out to center field. Bartley moving over and brings it in on for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out, and Caleb Brown will sit down as we go to the top of the order. It'll bring up Josh Rush. So we are getting off the first inning of scoreless baseball we had in the third. It was 2 for Hedgesville in the top of the first, 5 for the Dogs in the bottom of the first, 4 in the top of the second for Hedgesville, 1 in the bottom of the second for Martinsburg. That brings us to where we are right now at 6-6. First pitch to Josh Rush, low and away for ball 1. Rush reached on an error in the first and a single in inning number 2, came around to score on both of those occasions. That 1-0, that's a strike on the inside third. Count now 1-1.
You talk about Pope maybe settling in a little bit since getting that final out in the second inning and then retiring the side in order in the third, and the first batter in the fourth. He set down 5 in a row.
Pope delivers that 1-1. That one just a bit low and inside for ball 2.
See if that trend can continue. See if he can set down the top of the order for the first time today.
I'm ready with that 2-1. That one a strike in a very similar location to the 1-1. But the count now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes as the light's taking full effect here at P.O. Faulkner. A little bit of sunlight still trying to creep out in left field, but for the most part, getting into the evening skies. Here comes that 2-2. That one again lifted into right center field, working over is Brittner, and he will make the catch on the run. A great job by Noah Brittner. Bartley coming in behind him, hit the slide, and he came in to avoid contact, but Brittner able to make a very nice catch on the run, moving to his right, and could have been a dangerous play with Bartley coming over. Bartley smartly went in behind Noah Brittner to avoid contact, and I think he's okay. Was adjusting the bottom of his pant leg, but doesn't look like he's limping at all, and now 2 down. Here after the fly from Josh Rush, it'll bring up Chase DeLauder, the number 2 batter in the order. And here's that first pitch to DeLauder, a breaking ball, just a bit outside for ball 1.
Yeah, clearly some good communication between those two guys out there. that there was not a collision going after that one, as they both got there about the same time.
DeLauder waits on the 1-0. That one outside for ball 2. DeLauder, the reigning state player of the year, making a very strong case to win that for the second consecutive year. As the open stance as the lefty takes a hearty cut at the 2-0, but swings through it. Count now 2 balls, 1 strike.
There's a big out to get Rush for Darryl Pope. It's the first time he's retired the top 3 guys in the order, who had 4 hits and 5 at-bats with a walk and a reach on an error added in there as well. So to get Rush, very big to have 2 outs and DeLauder at the plate with nobody on.
Count now 3-1 to DeLauder after the 2-1 missed high and outside. So a hitter's count now for the always dangerous DeLauder. Now 46 hits on the season. And here comes that 3-1 as that one misses low for ball 4, and DeLauder going to reach for the 3rd time today. 2 walks and a single. DeLauder's come around to score both those times. Also has a couple of RBI on the day.
23 times he has been walked on the season. Partially because he has a very good eye at the plate, but partially because teams
don't want to pitch to him.
That's it. Try to pitch around him. They try to get him to go after something off the plate, and he's disciplined enough not to do it. So he'll draw those walks.
That'll bring up Kyle West. The lefty takes ball 1 outside.
Right now, Kyle West making Martinsburg pay, because even if you try to get around the batter ahead, West is 2 for 2, a couple of singles and 2 runs batted in.
Here comes that 1-0. This one driven to the opposite field, moving over is Cam Burnett, and he will camp under it for the 3rd out of the inning. So Chase DeLauder reaches, and it's going to be left on base after the base on balls. 4 batters come to the plate, but nothing doing here in the top of the 4th for Hedgesville. We'll go to the bottom of inning number 4 when we come back, knotted at 6. This is high school baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery. Anthony'sMenu.com.
4 new car dealerships.
For over 30 years, Haas's Family Steak and See has been serving premium certified steaks made from scratch soups, their famous fresh salad bar, and fresh baked desserts, all at family-friendly prices. Forget the drive-thru window and bring your family to Haas's Steak and See on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg for lunch and dinner.
We became number 1 by making you number 1 first. Parsons.
We'll head to the bottom of inning number 4. Parker Martin back out on the mound for Hedgesville. I wasn't sure we were going to see either one of these starters go very long in this one after the first 2 innings. And after the combined 12 runs through those first 2 innings, 6 apiece, we've been scoreless ever since. A scoreless 3rd and scoreless top of the 4th for Hedgesville.
Well, I mean, you look at Darryl Pope's numbers, and 27 pitches to get through that 2nd inning when he gave up the 4 runs. But outside of that, 14, 16, 13 pitches, respectively, in the other 3 innings, not bad.
Ball 1 high and outside to Nicholas Wright, today's starting first baseman.
Same thing for Parker Martin. 39 pitches to get through that 1st inning facing 11 batters, but 12 in each of the last 2 innings. So as you said, both pitchers settling.
Wright takes that 1-0 low, ball 2. Fouls off that 2-0 as Wright has that, I mentioned it last night, just that looping swing. Not very concise, doesn't work quickly to that baseball, which gets a lot of power behind the swing, but sometimes means he's not making contact. Not a lot of times when other batters will, but right here he takes that 2-1. The ball missed just low and away, and 3 balls, 1 strike.
Seeing a lot of fly ball outs in this game. I'm trying to tally some of that up.
At 3-1, a swing and a miss by Wright. The count now runs full at 3-2.
9 fly ball outs so far for Hedgesville. Tallying up Martinsburg's as we go.
At 3-2, sharply hit to the left side. Kyle West stabs it at shortstop for the 1st out of the inning. A ball that hit very sharply off the bat of Nicholas Wright, but hit right to where Kyle West was playing short, and West didn't really even have to move, kind of leaned a little bit to his right and is able to haul it in for out number 1. And Wright's just going to shake his head and go back to the dugout, as he was a little late on that swing, but a lot of pop with that bat.
That is 6 line out / pop out / fly ball outs, so not a ground ball out. 6 now for Martinsburg. So that's 15 outs in this game that have been with the ball in the air.
Brings up Ashton Stobbs, who takes ball 1 away. Stobbs a double back in the second, a breaking ball. This one misses just a bit above the letters for ball 2.
He's been swinging a hot bat down the stretch of this season.
That open stance as the righty awaits that 2-0, the delivery, and fouled off down that first base line. Matthew going over, but the ball going to get out of play.
Stobbs on Monday against Moorfield had a couple of hits, including a home run, 3 runs batted in. Last Saturday against Greenbrier East had a double, and in the earlier game against St. Albans had a homer and 3 runs batted in.
That 2-1 lifted to the right side. Matthew working back, flirting with that foul line as he will go into foul territory and make the catch on a tough play for him to read. Not sure if he was looking up into the lights. I'm guessing he was looking up the lights right to the left of the dugout down the first base line based on where that ball was coming from, and had to extend that arm fully and kind of make a basket-style catch, turn it around, but a great play in foul territory by Jameson Matthew for out number 2.
Yeah, very solid job to stay with that one and get the glove out and make the play. Good news for him, it was in foul territory, so would not have been a fair ball had he not been able to come up with it.
Mitch Racine takes a ball high and inside. Count now 1-0 to Sign, who had an RBI double in the first. Grounded out to the second baseman on what was basically a bunt in that second. Now a sharp hit ball down the third base line. Rush now with it. Fired at first, and a good pick by Matthew, and keeps his foot on the bag. Thought his back foot may have slid off the bag just at the end, but apparently able to keep contact made. And a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of inning number 4. We'll go to the top of the 5th. It's Hedgesville 6 and Martinsburg 6. I didn't think he kept his foot on the bag. 12.
Yeah, 75, if I count right this time.
You counted.
Well, I counted, but did I count right this time? Come on, man. Come on, man. Don't make me pull an ESPN segment on you.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face. When someone close to you passes away, it's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown
Estimate
Funeral
at Bears
Home,
Repair,
our families
904
are
Winchester
precious to
Avenue
us,
in Martinsburg.
and so are
Phone
yours.
262-0208. Bears Repair.
And Charlestown Ransom.
With 4 new car
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 south in Chambersburg.
Out Cancer uniforms. That purple uniform with the orange trim around the front of the jersey. Hedgesville in their normal colors. They're in those blue and white uniforms. It'll be Brady Weaver, the catcher, leading it off as he takes a hearty cut, a swing and a miss at strike 1 here to start the top of the 5th.
Matt, want to check in on the Washington Nationals. They have a 2-1 lead over the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals up in the top of the 6th inning.
That 0-1 as Weaver rips one into the gap, and that one going back, and going to bounce off the wall. That's going to be a stand-up double for Brady Weaver as Cam Burnett gets it in. Thought that one may be going off the bat. Brady Weaver's already got 6 taters on the year. Thought that was going to be number 7, but he is into second with a stand-up double to get the inning started.
That'll be his 10th double on the season, and once again he'll give way to Matt Rupenthal, who serves as the courtesy runner, moving out to second base. Yeah, Weaver, no doubt about it, puts the barrel of the bat on that pitch.
Yeah, that pitch got all the plate off the right arm of Darrell Pope as a sharp hit ball by Parker Martin's going to get into left field. Rubenthal rounding third base, and he is going to score with ease. On the throw, advancing to second will be Parker Martin, and Hedgesville takes the lead 7-6 here in the top of inning number 5.
2 runs batted in today for Martin. He had a sac fly earlier. The RBI single, gives him 18 runs batted in, and back-to-back hits to start this 5th inning has put Hedgesville back in front. 7-6.
And Parker Martin advancing on the throw, as we are going to have another courtesy runner. This for the pitcher going to be a number 28. As we will effort to find a 28, one we don't have on our roster.
I am working that up right now.
Do know stepping to the plate is Jamison Matthew. Matthew steps in. He's popped out to second base and flown out to center field today. He takes ball 1 low and away. So after 2 innings of scoreless baseball, Hedgesville finds the bats again here in the top of inning number 5. Just 3 pitches thrown to score a run number 7 for the Eagles on the day. That 1-0 low, but a good block by Aaron Pearson at the plate to keep our courtesy runner at second.
Well, again, I'm with you. I thought that was a 2-8. I don't have a 2-8 under the substitutes on the lineup card, but there is a 2-9. So that could be Luke Kisner out running the bases, but I'm not sure.
It certainly did look like a 2-8 from our vantage point. So are we going to go with Kisner?
For right now.
Luke Kisner is going to be our courtesy runner. If he's not, then he and his parents are sure going to appreciate this if he comes around to score a run. A 2-0 pitch to Jameson Matthew upcoming. Out of the stretch, here's Darrell Pope with it. This one misses inside. 3 balls, no strikes.
Now the Martinsburg bullpen is behind their dugout off the third base side, so you can't really see if there's any work going on over there or not. But Pope up around 75 pitches right now. Wonder how much deeper he'll go in this one.
Here comes that 3-0. That one a strike on the inside corner. A little bit of an off-speed pitch, not necessarily old automatic fastball right down the middle, but one that does catch the zone at the knees. And count now 3-1, a hitter's count to Jameson Matthew. Matthew, 16 runs driven in on the year. Here's that 3-1. This one lifted foul and out of play down the first base line. Count now runs full at 3-2.
Matt checking back in on the Nationals. They're now to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Nationals batting with that 2-1 lead. And Steven Strasburg in the start in 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, just 1 walk and a run on 5 hits. And with 9 Ks, he gets to 1,500 strikeouts on his career.
That 3-2 pitch hit sharply but foul down the third base line. Sign taking a quick jab and then realized that ball is going foul. Sign playing third base right now for the Dogs.
Not only does Strasburg get that mark of 1,500 strikeouts, but becomes the fastest to do it in the big leagues in the number of innings pitched.
Ready for pitch number 7 of this at-bat on the 3-2. That one low and away. Ended up bouncing into Aaron Pearson. So it'll be Matthew reaching on a walk for just the 4th time this year.
This has not been the prototypical start for Darrell Pope. 54 strikeouts, 21 walks in 46 innings coming in. And, Matt, that is now walk number 4 on the night, and he has yet to strike out a batter.
Still looking for the first out here in the inning. Squaring around to bunt is Ryan Fry. Pushes that up the third base line. Nobody's going to be there. Nobody covering first base. Nicholas Wright was coming in on the bunt attempt as Trey Simons is going to play it back and hope for that forced play at third. Ashton Stobbs not wheeling around to play first base. Not that it would have mattered, I don't think. I don't think there would have been a play on that ball as Ryan Fry hustled out of the box as he will be into first base with an infield single. But that is the 2nd time in as many days that we have not seen a proper bunt defense by the Dogs.
Well, a bunt base hit's going to load them up.
Bring up Tyler Bubb, who takes strike 1 right down the middle. So standing at third base will be, we believe, Luke Kisner, the courtesy runner for Parker Martin. The second base is Matthew. Now Fry at first. A sharp hit ball. It's going to get past Trey Sign at third base. 1 run's going to come around to score. Jameson Matthew going to hold up at third base. But a RBI single for Tyler Bubb. And the Eagles now lead Martinsburg 8-6, and the Bats have come back alive here in the top of inning number 5. No outs. Still in the top of the 5th.
Just the 8th run batted in on the season for Bub as he collects his 11th hit of the year. That's a big one to bring home the 2nd run of the inning and put Hedgesville up by 2, and that may spell the end on the mound for Darrell Pope as head coach Aaron Byler makes that slow walk from the third base dugout to the mound.
Trying to see, we saw some action in the bullpen, seeing if anybody has popped their head out of the dugout yet, as it looks like we're actually going to get a change from the outfield, or maybe move Darrell Pope. Looks like we may move Darrell Pope to right field.
No. Or Pope's going to go to center field where he normally plays.
Bartley's going to bump over to right. So that's going to spell the end of the day for Noah Brittner.
And who will our new pitcher be?
Pitch will be Ryan Barger. So Barger not starting today, as he will be the first reliever of this game. This pitching change brought to you by Bears Repair at 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Need an oil change or a complete overhaul? They do it all. For your automotive repair needs, call the certified mechanics at Bears Repair. Phone 304-262-0208. While Ryan Barker gets in his warm-up pitches, we will take a 1-minute break and then be back. Here in the top of the fifth inning, it's Hedgesville 8, Martinsburg 6.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Marriott Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
Brown Funeral Homes, Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
Ryan Barger now on the mound for Martinsburg, taking over for starter Darrell Pope, who went 4+, gave up 8 hits. Right now looking at 8 runs, but still 3 on base. That would be his responsibility. No strikeouts and 4 walks. A sharply hit ball, but foul down the third base line off the bat of the left-handed Caleb Brown.
Brown going after that first pitch from Barger. Could not put it in play. Big situation here, still nobody out.
Here comes that 0-1 from Barger, a breaking ball and a chop. I think it's the best way to put it by Caleb Brown. Wasn't sure he wanted to swing at that one just at the last minute to try to throw some metal at it, and he's now behind in the count 0-2. Barger out of the windup, ready with that 0-2, a breaking ball that misses outside, ball 1.
Barger making his 12th appearance. He does have a couple of starts. 17 innings, has given up 9 runs, 6 earned on 13 hits, 19 strikeouts, 6 base on balls.
That 1-2 again misses outside. Count now even at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Barger a 2-0 record with 2 saves and a 2.47 earned run average.
Ready with the 2-2. That one a fastball that misses high and outside. Now the count now full at 3-2 after Brown was behind in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. It's been 3 consecutive balls off the right arm of Ryan Barger.
There's no place to put him.
The payoff pitch on the 3-2. A swing and a miss and a big strikeout for the first out of the inning. Caleb Brown goes down on strikes for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th.
A huge pitch for Barger to get that K, his 20th on the season. Generally around the strike zone. See what he can do as we get back to the top of the order. Some tough outs ahead.
Josh Rush steps in with the bases loaded. First pitch to him will plunk him. That'll score a run. So Rush knew the bases were loaded. Hung in there and wore one for the team to score the 9th run of the day as Hedgesville takes a 3-1 lead at 9-6.
Oh, boy, we've seen a run walked in. We've now seen a run brought in on a hit by pitch.
Scores Jameson Matthew from third. That run going to be the responsibility of Darrell Pope. Now Chase Slaughter ups. He lifts one into center field. That one is going to go a long way. Going back on it and making the catch is Daryl Pope in center field. Attacking at third and coming in to score will be Ryan Fry. Moving up to third base will be Tyler Bubb. Sticking at first is going to be Josh Rush. And, Matt, I don't know about you, but off the bat, I thought that one had a chance to get out of here.
Yeah, wasn't sure on this evening with the weather the way that it is, that kind of heaviness, if you will, with an awful lot of moisture in the air. That one went a long way, but a nice play by Pope to track it down. 3 runs batted in the ball game, has DeLauder up to 39 now on the season with that sacrifice fly.
They're going to check back over at third base. And checking to see if Fry may have left early. He did not. Bubb currently standing at third base. At first base is Josh Rush.
Runners at the corners.
10th run driven in for Hedgesville today. They now hold the 4-run advantage at 10-6.
9th batter to hit in the inning, standing in right now.
There is 2 down here in the inning. It is Kyle West as he takes strike 1 at the knees.
Well, we saw Martinsburg send 11 to the plate in their half of the first. We saw 8 come to the plate in the second inning for Hedgesville. These teams have sent a lot of guys up there.
That 0-1, a breaking ball outside for ball 1, and so far Barger not throwing a whole lot of fastballs. It's been that off-speed trying to paint the corners. Down to that 1-1. That one misses low and inside, ball 2. Second base is open, so a walk here wouldn't be ideal, but would not cost a run, but you wouldn't want to load the bases for Brady Weaver, who can hit a ball a mile.
Yeah, hard hitting Brady Weaver.
That 2-1 misses outside. Weaver a double to get this inning started. And 2 very well hit balls in this inning. 1 a double for Brady Weaver and 1 a sacrifice fly by Chase DeLauder. Here comes that 3-1. It's fouled off. Over to the concession stands and behind the stands down the third baseline. And the count now full at 3-2. So moving on the pitch will be Josh Rush standing at first. And moving on contact will be Tyler Bubb.
Big pitch here for Barger. Went 3-2 to Brown. Got the strikeout for the first out of the inning.
Here comes that 3-2 and a swing and a miss by Kyle West. He goes down for the second strikeout of the inning for Ryan Barger. 4 runs come across the score, and Hedgesville takes the 10-6 lead as we will head to the bottom of inning number 5 next. Again, it's Hedgesville 10, Martinsburg 6.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown-Ranson, we're here when you need us.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations.
Martinsburg going to need to find the bats here as they did early in this one. Again, 5 runs in the first, 1 in the second. For Hedgesville, it was 2 in the first, 4 in the second. Both teams scoreless through the third and the fourth.
Well, Martinsburg responded each of the first 2 times Hedgesville put runs on the board. Let's see what they do here.
It'll be Aaron Pearson leading it off as he takes ball 1 low.
Try to take a look at what's going on with the other EPAC teams here in this half inning. Only one other game tonight. Loudoun County listed to be playing at Musselman according to the game changer, but they're not putting that one on the game changer, so no report on that game.
1-0 misses low. Here comes that 2-0. That one low and in the dirt off the right arm of Parker Martin, and Martin struggling to find the strike zone. this inning. 75 pitches is our unofficial count through 4 innings on the mound for today's starter for Hedgesville. As Pearson awaits that 3-0. That one a fastball right down the heart of the plate for strike one.
Musselman coming into play today at 13-10 as they scored a 4-1 win at Berkeley Springs yesterday.
That 3-1 fouled off down the first base line by Aaron Pearson. The count now runs full at 3-2, so a good battle back by Parker Martin. Was behind to Pearson, 3-0. Now the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes to the senior catcher. Pearson steps in, Parker Martin ready to deliver that 3-2. That one high and inside, ball 4. And Martin will take first base and get ready to relieve first base for his courtesy runner, Aaron Butler.
Aaron Pearson has now walked 15 times on this season. His batting average at .286, but the on-base percentage at .424, as he has shown that ability to be patient at the plate.
It's not bad for a catcher. Catcher's one of those positions you think of as those power hitters in the lineup.
As a result, he's got 3 plate appearances, but no at-bats today.
Check back over to first base. Back in safe on the dive is Butler. Ball got away from Jameson Matthew, but only by a couple of feet into that foul territory grass. Butler will stay at first.
Pearson has a hit by pitch, a sacrifice fly, and a walk. So 3 times he's come to the plate, but 0 at-bats in the game. 0 for 0 right now.
Here comes that first pitch to Pope, and that one's a chopper hit foul for the first strike of the at-bat. Pope staying in the game after the Dogs went to the bullpen to bring in Ryan Barger. It was Pope moving to center field. Austin Bartley moving to right field. And it was Noah Brittner that will exit the game. Here comes that 0-1 to Pope, driven right back up the middle. That's going to get into center field. A 4A base hit. Butler going to around second by a few steps, but then retreat, only going to gain 1 base on the single back up the middle by Darrell Pope. But a good sign for Martinsburg. The first 2 batters have now reached here in the bottom of inning number 5.
Well, I thought for a minute that Tyler Bubb was going to get there to make the play as the middle infielders were kind of pinching up the middle. And with the shortstop Kyle West not too far away, I was wondering if one of those 2, in particular Bubb, might get a glove on it, and they may have a chance to get an out at second base. But that was kind of a seeing eye hit right between the 2 middle infielders.
Visit on the mound.
Yep, Derek Snyder again out to try to settle things down. Looking at other teams here in the EPAC, Spring Mills fell to 15-14 as Petersburg rallied for a walk-off 7-6 win over the Cardinals yesterday. Spring Mills scheduled to host these Hedgesville Eagles tomorrow night, weather permitting. Right now, a chance of shower and, in particular, thunderstorm activity through the day Friday.
Cameron at the batter with 2 runners on, a pitch in the dirt, a good block by Brady Weaver, not even getting the glove on it, just throwing his body and using that chest protector. Great job behind the plate.
Yeah, very good job. That was a big secondary lead out at second by Butler, who froze watching Weaver, who was able to knock that one down.
Cam Burnett had an RBI single earlier in the game, a check swing at the plate, and a called strike.
Yeah, he tried to check it, but was not able to do it. Clearly the bat had gone through the zone.
Cam Burnett, that RBI single, would also come around to score in that first inning. Also drew a walk back in the third. That 1-1 low for ball 2.
Matt, looking at the rest of the EPAC, Jefferson, a rare loss at Hampshire yesterday as the Trojans rallied to beat the Cougars 6-4.
The 2-1-2. Barnett gets off the glove of Brady Weaver, and both runners are going to advance on the pass ball that nicked off the glove of catcher Brady Weaver. This ball that was a little outside, but definitely going to go down in my scorebook as a pass ball, not a wild pitch.
Well, it'll run that count to 3 balls and a strike as that one missed a bit as away as well. And so Burnett just a pitch away from walking to load the bases. And here we go again. We said it earlier. Martinsburg responded each time Hedgesville scored earlier in the game.
At 3-1, Cam Burnett was sure it was ball forward and started to make the trot down to first base. Held the bat in his right hand, which made you think that possibly he knew it was going to be a strike on the outside corner. That's exactly what it was. And here comes that 3-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss at a pitch that was high and inside and jammed Cam Burnett. But the first out of the inning is a strikeout, and the first strikeout of the day for Parker Martin.
The first strikeout of the day for either starter, as Darrell Pope did not strike out a batter. I mean, they came in with a combined 78 strikeouts, and Pope didn't strike out anyone in his 4+ innings.
It'll be Ryan Barger now stepping to the plate. He takes strike one at the knees. Again, Barger replacing technically Noah Brittner in the lineup as the starter Darrell Pope just moved to center field. That ball low and in the dirt. Another good block by Brady Weaver to keep the runners at second and third. It's Aaron Butler, the courtesy runner for Aaron Pearson at third. Darrell Pope is at second.
Barger does have 12 hits in 43 at-bats on the year. That's a .279 average. No homers, 15 driven in.
Barger a swing and a miss. Now the count in the favor of Parker Martin. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Barger has added 15 walks, but has also struck out 20 times. .279 average, .475 on-base percentage.
A swing and a miss by Ryan Barger, and back-to-back batters go down on strikes for the Dogs, and just like that, 2 down after the first 2 were on. There's Aaron Pearson reaching on a walk, and then a single by Darrell Pope. Then back-to-back strikeouts. It was Cam Burnett and then Ryan Barger going down on strikes, and Austin Bartley will step in, hoping to claw back at the 4-run deficit that Hedgesville has created, scoring 4 in the top of this inning.
Yeah, very crucial to get at least one of these guys in if you can here.
Bartley rips one foul, hitting the net right in front of the bleachers down the first baseline.
Matt, I think the only EPAC team we haven't looked at yet, Washington losing yesterday to Potomac Falls 9-3. So the Patriots at 1-22 on the year.
Here comes that 0-1 low and bounces into Brady Weaver. Weaver able to knock it down at the plate. Got now even at 1 ball, 1 strike, and a huge batter for both sides. This would be big for Parker Martin to get out of this inning. Not sure how much longer he's going to go, and for Martinsburg, you'd love to get a run in this inning. 2 runners in scoring position. The 1-1 low for ball 2.
Well, Bartley a pretty decent eye. He's drawn 6 base on balls. That's in 75 at-bats. He really likes to put the bat on the ball.
Out of the windup, here's that 2-1. That one low and away. Running in from third, it's going to be Aaron Butler, and he will be in. A safe at home on the pass ball that gets by Brady Weaver. And Martinsburg cuts the deficit to 3 at 10-7.
And they've got another run just 90 feet away. Great job by the runners to see that pitch, to see it get away from Weaver, and to make their break. And so Martinsburg gets a run, all important. Still a chance for another, and that count at 3-1 to Bartley.
Yeah, hitters count now to Austin Bartley, and you'd love if you're Martinsburg to get back to the top of the lineup and get Grant Harmon up again. Here comes that 3-1 ball, lifted into the gap. That one's going to find grass. A ball ripped into right center. That's going to score another run, and moving from second to third is going to be Austin Bartley, and he is in safe with a head-first slide into third. An RBI triple for Austin Bartley. It's going to score Darrell Pope from third. Now the lead cut to 2. It's Hedgesville 10, Martinsburg 8, and that'll be RBI number 18 on the year for Austin Bartley, and he hit number 27.
Boy, and how about the hustle from Bartley? He was thinking triple all the way as he came out of the box, made that turn to get to second, and no hesitation as he raced around second and went with that head-first dive for his 3rd triple of the season.
And that'll spell the end of the day for Parker Martin with 2 outs in the bottom of inning number 5. Coming to pitch now for Hedgesville will be J.R. Luttrell. This pitching change brought to you by Bears Repair at 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Need an oil change or complete overhaul? They do it all. For your automotive repair needs, call the certified mechanics at Bears Repair, phone 304-262-0208. While J.R. Luttrell gets in his warm-up pitches, we'll take a 1-minute timeout, then come back. 2 outs in the bottom of inning number 5. It's Hedgesville 10, Martinsburg 8.
Ron Hawker Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 south in Chambersburg.
Located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia. Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Parsons is the largest.
If spring allergies are making you miserable, maybe it's time for urgent care. At WVU Medicine Urgent Care Centers, you won't have to wait for hours in the lobby, sneezing, wheezing, and coughing. We offer clockwise online scheduling so you can get in line before you leave the house, reducing your wait time. Visit our website.
But Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome back into P.O. Faulkner Park. J.R. Luttrell, now the pitcher for Hedgesville, as both starters have been removed from the ball game. It was Ryan Barger coming in to relieve Darrell Pope in the top of the 5th for the Dogs, and now J.R. Luttrell with 2 down here in the bottom of inning number 5. Going to come in for the Eagle starter, Parker Martin. Martin went 4 2/3, giving up 8 hits, struck out 2, a walked 3, and plunked a batter. Still 1 runner on the base paths that could be his responsibility. Right now, 8 runs would be charged to him as the lefty Luttrell is set to face Grant Harmon. As Harmon takes strike 1.
There's a breaking pitch.
J.R. Luttrell just making his 6th appearance on the year as Harmon chops one to the third baseman, Rush. Rush gets it on the bounce. On the run, a throw to first, and Harmon will be safe. Grant Harmon beating out the throw on a high chopper to Josh Rush at third base. Rush did everything he could to get the ball over, made the throw on the run, but Harmon just too quick. It'll be an infield single, RBI for Grant Harmon, as it'll be RBI number 28 on the year, and Martinsburg back within 1 at 10-9.
Yeah, a couple of runs batted in now on a couple of hits and a bases loaded walk for Harmon. And Martinsburg answers with 3 runs here in this bottom half of the inning.
Close the book on Parker Martin as Nicholas Wright takes time at the plate. That'll be 9 runs for him. As now the lone runner on the base paths will be Grant Harmon, the responsibility of J.R. Luttrell. Luttrell 4 2/3 innings on the hill as he checks back over. Harmon in standing up, only about 2 steps off the bag at first. So far, Luttrell 9 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, 2 apiece when it comes to strikeouts and walks. As he misses away on a pitch to Nicholas Wright. Count now 1-0 to Wright. Wright a infield single in the first would come around to score. And grounded into a fielder's choice as Luttrell checks back over. Harmon again in standing up. Harmon not a big enough lead to even come back in on a dive. And I'm sure Aaron Byler down the third base line probably telling him to get another step or 2. If you're in safe, that means you can get another step and a half, and come in on the dive. Here's that 1-1, a breaking ball. That's a strike on the inside corner. What a great pitch by J.R. Luttrell. Just that slow, arcing breaking ball that broke in right about belt high on that inner third. Count now 1-1 to Nicholas Wright. Here comes that 1-1 and a foul ball as Grant Harmon was on the move. A possible hit-and-run situation. But Wright fouls it off. Harmon will go back to first, and the count now 1-2.
A little hit-and-run opportunity. You got a player in right that puts the bat on the ball well, and you got speed on the base paths. If that ball finds a hole somewhere, an opportunity to get that tying run in.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Nicholas Wright. Luttrell check back over to first, and Harmon was leaning for a moment and then got back over. Luttrell awful close to that, being in balk territory. Looked like he was coming a little more towards the plate than he was to first, and that ball was going over to first, but the left-handed Nicholas Wright will step back in. Awaiting that 1-2. Here it is, and a swing and a miss, and Wright goes down on strikes. 3 runs come across and score for Martinsburg. They cut the deficit from 4-1 as we head to the top of inning number 6. It's Hedgesville 10, Martinsburg 9.
prepare for what's next or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
Four runs in the top of the fifth for Hedgesville. They took a 10-6 lead. Then Martinsburg found the bats as well after back-to-back scoreless innings. And they get three, so now a 10-9 ball game as we go to the top of inning number 6. It'll be Brady Weaver leading it off. Weaver led off the fifth inning with a double to left field. See if he has that same magic. We saw him hit a couple of big doubles down in Myrtle Beach as he takes ball one outside.
Well, first full inning for Barker. Let's see how he does after facing 4 batters when he came in that fifth inning, struck out a pair, did hit a batter, and gave up a sacrifice fly.
At 1-0 outside to Weaver, ball 2. Weaver getting hit number 25 on the year as he takes strike 1 off the right hand of Ryan Barger. Out of the windup, here comes that 2-1 from Barger. This one lifted to the right side, right moving over into foul territory. And he's going to camp under it for out number 1. Off the bat, wasn't sure that one was going to stay in play the way that Wright was moving over into foul territory. Got about halfway between that fence and the foul line and camped under it for out number 1.
We've seen a number of plays made in foul territory by both of these teams. Good play by those corner infielders, heading over, getting under it, making the catch.
It'll bring up a pinch hitter. Actually, it'll just be the new hitter, J.R. Luttrell, hitting for Parker Martin. She takes strike 1. Now the 0-1 to Luttrell high and outside as Pearson standing straight up and taking a step to his left to bring that one in. Same location as if it were a pitch out. Count even at 1-1 as Luttrell bounces one foul down the first base line. Now the count 1-2.
Luttrell on the season, 21 at-bats, 2 hits. It's an .095 batting average, .208 on-base percentage with 3 walks, but has also struck out 9 times.
The 2-strike pitch, a check swing, but he did go all the way through for the strikeout, and that'll be strikeout number 3 in the short appearance so far for Ryan Barger. No strikeouts for today's starter, Darryl Pope, and already 3 for Barger. And now 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 6th. It'll bring up Jameson Matthew. Matthew reached on a walk in the 5th. First pitch to him, a swing and a miss on a pitch that was didn't look like a whole lot of movement on it, but definitely took a little bit off of that. Maybe a changeup that came in, and Matthew a little bit ahead of that one.
Going to the top of the 8th inning down at Nationals Park.
Barger delivers a strike on the outside edge for strike 2, and working quickly now as he's in a little bit of a rhythm.
2-1, the Nationals hold on to the lead. Strasburg going to end up with a possible win if the bullpen can hold on.
That 0-2 just a bit outside for ball 1 to Matthew. We mentioned that a 5th inning walk. It was a fly out to center field in the 3rd, and then a pop out to second base in the 1st. Here comes that 1-2 breaking ball. This one chopped to the third baseman and bounces over Trey Sign, hitting the lip. Harmon able to get the back up and make a throw over to first. Not the wisest decision to fire it over to first. His right will come off and catch the ball about 6 steps in front of first base. But that was a ball that took a wicked hop right next to Trey Sign. It looked like he was going to get the ball in the forehand, hitting that lip right where the grass meets the infield dirt and bouncing right over top of him.
Yeah, the bad bounce base hit, as you call it.
Ryan Fry up to bat as he fouls one off down the left field line, hitting the full field tarp down in left field.
Steven Strasburg for the Nats went 6 2/3, gave up a run on 6 hits. He struck out 9, walked 2. Again, would be the pitcher of record if the bullpen can hang on as the Nationals have a 2-1 lead.
The 0-1 misses just a bit below the knees for ball one to Fry. Matthew with that infield single picks up hit number 24 on the season. A breaking ball high and inside for ball two. Check throw back down to first. Matthew in safely on the dive. Right applying the tag, but in by about a second was Jameson Matthew. That ball at the plate missed high and inside. Ball two. So ready with that 2-1 as a pitch that sawed off. Ryan Fry was high and inside, and he was late on it.
And got that one right above the hands.
Our home plate umpire, Buck Hoffmaster, giving a warning to the first base dugout. Too many guys standing in the field of play, warning them to get back in the dugout. Now out of the stretch, Ryan Barger comes set with that 2-2. That one, a borderline pitch, just misses a bit off the plate and low. Counting out full at 3 balls, 2 strikes.
A little low and outside. Probably a good call from our angle. Close pitch, but Barger could not get Fry to go after it. Now he's got to challenge it.
3-2 pitch. Here comes that 3-2 and a ball lifted to the right side. Moving back will be Ashton Stobbs. He is still in the infield third as he will bring it in almost in shallow right field for the third out of the inning. So an infield single doesn't hurt Martinsburg. It was an infield single by Jameson Matthew. Other than that, it was 3 up, 3 down. And a strikeout for J.R. Luttrell. Strikeout number 3 on the game for Ryan Barger. We'll head to the bottom of inning number 6 when we come back. It's Hedgesville 10, Martinsburg 9.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here. And
Going on now through April the 15th, and that means great deals on great vehicles. Right now during Jeep Freedom Days, you save $5,750 on Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever. Trail rated tough with best-in-class capability. Also save $5,750 on Chrysler Pacifica, the most awarded minivan 3 years in a row with 28 miles per gallon highway fuel efficiency. Check out our line of durable and reliable Ram trucks with up to 395 horsepower, over 8,000 pounds of towing capacity, more than 1,900 pounds of payload, and as much as 32 miles per gallon. The 2019 Ram Classic is the most technologically advanced Ram 1500 ever, and right now you can save $11,300. Get a 2019 Jeep Compass for $199 a month for 42 months with $3,399 down. At Miller Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram's 10 days to deal event, you get $1,000 seat cap bonus cash on Ram, Grand Cherokee, Durango, and Pacifica with no payments for 90 days. Miller Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 9 east of Martinsburg, home with a lifetime powertrain warranty.
Park, a game that's working quickly.
Hey, thanks to American Legion coach Trip Tobin. He's let us know that it's a 5-4 Loudoun County lead. Musselman coming to the plate bottom of the 7th inning in the south end of the county with 4, 5, and 6 hitters still.
All right, here's Ashton Stobbs, and it'll be the 3, 4, 5 hitters set to be up here in the bottom of the 6th. It's Ashton Stobbs, Trey Sign, and Aaron Pearson. So that one misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
And that first pitch from Luttrell off the plate as well. He's throwing a lot of breaking pitches. Not going to be too overpowering.
Here comes that 2-0 from Luttrell. That one, a strike on the outside edge. Definitely had the height. Wasn't sure I was going to be a little too far off the plate to the righty, but does catch the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. Is working quickly as Luttrell. And this one hit to the opposite field into the gap for a single, a leadoff single for Ashton Stobbs, as he will take a big round first and come back.
Yeah, that wide turn, watching the right fielder the whole way to make sure Fry didn't have any issues with it. How about a 2-for-4 night for Stobbs? A double. Now this single is also popped out twice in foul territory. This is the part of the order Martinsburg wants up right now. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters trying to produce the tying run.
Trey Sign up to bat now. He had an RBI double back in the first. First pitch to him. A misses high and outside, ball 1.
I wondered if Coach Byler, in his second season, 46 wins, 19 losses over the 2 years, wondered if he might have Sign lay down the bunt and try to advance that tying run.
There's that bunt attempt, but pulled back, and a good eye at the plate by Trey Signs. He pulls back for ball 2.
Yeah, that pitch missing down low, blocked out of the dirt by Weaver.
That delayed bunt. He's going to try to get a drag bunt, if you will. Hopefully get Sign in on an infield single on the bunt. Now playing in is Josh Rush at third base. Set 2-0, a strike. A high and inside.
That kind of letter high strike on the inside corner.
Ashton Staub standing at first base, a pretty big lead against the lefty. This is a bunt put down now by Trey Sign, working quickly at the first base line as he is out by about a step. A good play by J.R. Luttrell getting off the mound. A quick flip to Jamison Matthews. Only about, a 3-foot flip they had to make as that ball was pushed very well up the first base line. So moving over to second base now will be Ashton Staubs.
Yeah, outstanding bunt from Trey Sign, who has great speed and almost legged that out.
He gets met by the entire team outside the dugout as the tying run now in scoring position. Stepping to the plate is Aaron Pearson as he lifts one into center field. DeLauder moving over on it and will bring it in. Quickly taking a jab off second base with Stops, but then quickly gets back to the bag. So on one pitch, Pearson flied out to center field for out number 2.
Yeah, pretty routine play there for DeLauder, as you said, can cover some ground out there. As it came off the bat, you wondered if it might have a chance to get into that alley, but run down pretty easily by DeLauder.
So with 2 down here in the bottom of inning number 6, the tying run standing on second, Darrell Pope will take strike 1 on the breaking ball that broke all the way across the plate. Great pitch by Luttrell.
Well, let's see if Martinsburg can get that clutch base hit.
It's an RBI in the first for Darrell Pope. And a single, he would come around to score this one. A ball hit to the shortstop. West up with it over to first for the third out as Jameson Matthew brings it in. So a leadoff single. Staubs is going to be stranded in scoring position at second. And we'll head to inning number 7, a tight ball game here. It's Hedgesville 10, Martinsburg 9.
11.
Whether you need business cards, banners, magnets, office stationery, or promo material, Panhandle Printing and Design can make it happen. Call 304-267-7400 for a quote, or visit us on the web at panhandleprintdesign.com.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
Faulkner Park Senior Night and Strikeout Cancer Night between the Clemson Tigers / Martinsburg Bulldogs and the Hedgesville Eagles to take you the rest of the way through this 7th inning, and who knows where this one's going, maybe even a little bit more. Kick it back over to Matt Miller.
Ironically enough, on Strikeout Cancer Night, we have not had a ton of strikeouts.
No. Looking total, 3 for Ryan Barger and 3 total for the 2 for Parker Martin and 1 for J.R. Luttrell. So 6 total strikeouts in a game. And when you looked at the preview and the pitching matchup, you thought, all right, this is probably going to get into double digits between the two when it comes to strikeouts. But 6, and that took till the 5th inning on one side. Actually, the 5th inning on both sides to get those strikeouts. So 4 innings of a strikeoutless baseball.
Tyler Bubb out of the number 8 spot in the order, getting it started in the Hedgesville top of the 7th inning. Takes a pitch from Ryan Barger, high and outside for ball 1. Storyline through 6. Hedgesville scored their 10 runs on 9 hits with 1 error. They've left 6-1 in scoring position. Pitch to Bubb, high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Martinsburg 9 runs on 10 hits. They've committed 2 errors, also leaving 6 base runners, but 3 in scoring position. Pitch to the plate, just a bit up and in. Count to Bubb at 3 balls and no strikes. We've not seen Barger walk a batter yet, but he did hit a batter when he first came in. Puts this one right down the middle. Bubb was taking all the way. Count at 3-1. Bubb has reached on an error, grounded out to short, and last time up delivered an RBI single. 3-1 pitch, taking all the way, gets down the middle for a called strike 2. In this half inning, we'll get into This date in baseball history brought to you by Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. 3-2 delivery on the way. Popped up foul in behind the plate, and we'll get back out of play just to the right of us. Holding at 3-2 to Bub. You can set up your appointment at Bears Repair by phoning 304-262-0208. Give them a call. See what the certified mechanic can do to keep your vehicle on the road. Time being taken by Bub. He'll step out. Gathers his thoughts and now steps back in again with that 3-2 pitch due. Barger ready. Here it comes. It's a line shot into center field, ranging over to his left. Darrell Pope not going to be able to get there. He'll play it on a bounce and hold Bub to the leadoff single.
Good piece of hitting by Bub. Drove it to the opposite field. Let that ball get deep into the zone and drove it into right center field. Drove it, same difference. Don't give me that look, cameraman Alderton.
It was driven to right center field.
He drove it.
Caleb Brown, number 9 hitter in the order, to the plate. And now we'll see if head coach Eric Grove, in his first year leading this Hedgesville program after serving as an assistant, if he's ready to lay down the bunt and advance the runner. And sure enough, Brown squares, pops the bunt up foul territory, third base side into the netting for strike one.
Like the reaction by Aaron Pearson, got it off the net, went directly into his glove, and he just held it up as the playful, I got it, that counts, right?
Come on, Mr. Umpire, give it to me. Now.
Hey, Brown's got to get the ball down. Can't pop the ball up when you're trying to lay down a bunt.
Brown has walked and scored, has flied out to center last time up against Barger, struck out swinging. Barger, the right-hander, ready. Here's the pitch, and it is a bunt foul in behind the plate, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Caleb Brown. Bub will go back to first, and we'll check out this date in baseball history. Matt, what do you think? May 2nd, 1917 at Chicago's Wakeman Park, southpaw Hippo Vaughn of the Cubs and Reds righty Fred Toney throw no-hitters against each other through 9 innings. In the 10th inning, the deadlock is broken when Cincinnati's Larry Kampf gets a one-out single. An error followed, and then an infield hit by, you may recognize this guy's name, Jim Thorpe.
Yes, the greatest athlete of all time.
Scores the game's lone run. Toney goes out and sets the Cubs down in order to preserve the 10-inning no-hitter. That's May 2nd. Today's date, 1917. Well, action back underway, and despite the 2 strikes on him, Brown does lay the bunt down, fielded by the third baseman Sign, charging down the line. He makes that throw to first on the run and in time to get him. In the sacrifice bunt, advances Bub to second base.
And that is showing a lot of faith in your hitter by head coach Eric Grove, and Grove now having a conversation.
Nicky Brown in the third base coach's box called Caleb Brown down to him, wanted to talk with him, wanted to kind of make sure that he knew, hey, you can do this. We got our belief in you that you can get this job done. Now step in there and do it, and he did just that. It looks like we're going to have Matt Rupenthal come in now and serve as a pinch runner in this situation. He served as a courtesy runner earlier, meaning he would not be allowed to serve as a courtesy runner again. He is now officially entered into the game as he'll run out at second base. First pitch to Josh Rush, down low in the dirt for ball 1. Good block by Aaron Pearson. 1 down with a runner at second. 10-9, Hedgesville with a 1-run lead, looking for some insurance in their final at-bat of regulation, top of the 7th. Here's the pitch, and it's a bouncing ball towards the shortstop. Harmon waits on it, feels the head-high hop, had a little trouble getting the ball out of the glove, but has enough on the throw to get Rush at first by just a half a step. Rupenthal advances on the ground out from second to third, and a run is just 90 feet away with 2 outs.
You just saw the arm strength of Grant Harmon on the ball. He had a double clutch, couldn't quite get the grip he wanted, but did have a phenomenal throw over to first. A good stretch by Nicholas Wright. And those two have been awful busy together over the past 2 games.
Now it brings up Chase DeLauder. Barger ready in the first pitch of the at-bat. A strike on the outside corner. And that last hop, Harmon had to wait for it, and then it kind of went to his left side, and he had to reach out and grab it. Here's a swing and a line drive past right into right field, and there's Chase DeLauder doing what he does. and that's hit the baseball. His 4th run batted in on the night lifts him to 40 on the season and lifts his Eagles to a 2-run advantage, now 11-9.
You don't get to do this at the high school level too often because you get the one guy that you really look at and every couple of years and go, that kid's going to be special. We've had the opportunity to do that with the Lauder the past 2 years. I mean, what this kid can do at the high school level is truly fantastic.
Brings up Kyle West in the first pitch to him, a fastball high for ball 1. I wondered if they might walk it. With first base open, just a runner at third, I wondered how they would approach it, but Coach Byler wanted his pitcher to go at DeLauder, and you tip your cap. DeLauder got the hit. So now West awaits, and the 1-0 pitch down low. Pearson able to smother that baseball, holding the runner as the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes.
I mean, you look at this matchup, and this is one you could possibly see on Wednesday and possibly a sectional finale, if that. And at some point, you're going to have to face DeLauder in a big situation as he's off for second.
There you go, runner on the move, and it's a hit and run, and West goes the other way, out into left field, and DeLauder will go all the way around as the left fielder did not come up with the ball cleanly. It went under the glove of Burnett, and that'll be a base hit and an error that's going to allow DeLauder to come all the way around from first. 2 runs in the inning, and the lead pushed out to 12-9.
Yeah, Cam Burnett came up on it and was trying to scoop it and just ran right past the baseball. It got right underneath his glove and was going quick enough off the bat of Kyle West, who drove it into left field. That ball got by him, and Darrell Pope had to go behind him and get it from center field.
It'll be a single, no run batted in as the run scores on the error, and West takes second base on that as well. And now it brings up Brady Weaver, who fouls one straight back to the netting for strike 1. Well, 2 outs in the inning, and DeLauder and West deliver. As a result, 2 insurance runs on that scoreboard, 12-9, and now for Martinsburg with the 7, 8, and 9 hitters due in their final at-bat of regulation. They'll have to come up with some runs to keep it going or to get a walk-off win. Sharp hit ground ball, backhanded by Harmon, the shortstop, and the throw to first in time to get him. Nice play with the runner in front of him.
Yeah, Harmon wasn't even sure he got that baseball. Kyle West and Harmon got to where that ball was getting to the shortstop at the exact same time. Harmon had to backhand it, and as soon as he squeezed that glove, it took a few steps over to first and quickly looked to see if he even had the baseball, and then made a great throw over to first base. But a couple insurance runs for Hedgesville. Should be an exciting bottom of the 7th.
Yep, 2 runs score on 3 hits and a Martinsburg error. And as we go to the bottom of the 7th, your score now, Hedgesville 12, Martinsburg 9.
When you're hurting, we're Inwood and Charlestown Ranson. We're here when you need us.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Here we go to the bottom half of inning number 7 at P.O. Faulkner Park. It is the Martinsburg Bulldogs trailing the Hedgesville Eagles 12-9 for Martinsburg. Cam Burnett to get it started out of the number 7 spot in the order. And they'll try to do it against J.R. Luttrell, who's trying to close this one out. And the first pitch, a breaking pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Burnett has singled to drive home a run, came around to score in that first as well, has drawn a walk and was erased on a fielder's choice. Last time up, a strikeout, swinging at a 3-2 pitch. Luttrell to the plate, and it finds the outside corner. Count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Luttrell has worked well since coming in relief for the starter Martin. Misses high with this one. It's 2-1. He gave up an RBI infield hit, but then got a strikeout to end that 5th inning. Gave up the leadoff single in the 6th, but retired the next 3 batters. Here's the pitch, and it's lined over the head of the second baseman. That one dropping into right field, and Cam Burnett gets the Bulldogs' 7th inning started with a single. So Martinsburg not going to go quietly. Their 11th hit on the night.
The way this game's going, did you expect anything different?
No, not at all. Now here comes Elijah Banks as Martinsburg will call on a pinch hitter in this number 8 spot in the order. Banks becomes the 3rd batter in this position. Noah Brittner went 1 for 2 with an infield hit and a pop out to shallow center. And then it was Ryan Barger who struck out in the 5th inning, and now Banks being called on with nobody out and a runner at first, and he takes just off the outside corner for ball 1.
Not by much off that outside corner.
No, not at all. And the Hedgesville faithful letting our plate umpire know they thought it was a strike. By the way, we have a final in the south end of the county. Loudoun County holds off Musselman 5-4. 1-0 delivery. Fastball misses high. 2 balls and no strikes now to Banks. That was the only other game going on tonight, Eastern Panhandle baseball-wise. Spring Mills at Musselman in girls softball playoff action, and Jefferson at Washington as well. Haven't heard any reports from those. Luttrell to the plate, and that pitch misses. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, an elimination game between Spring Mills and Musselman in the girls softball playoffs in Region 2 and Section 1. Washington and Jefferson, that's a winner's bracket game over in Section 2. The 3-ball no-strike pitch on the way. Taking all the way, Banks sees a strike, and now it's 3-1. Elijah Banks, 15 hits, 51 at-bats, a .294 average. No homers, 12 driven in. 12 walks, but also 15 strikeouts. He swings through the 3-1 delivery, and it's a full count now at 3-2. He's got a .294 average and a .439 on-base percentage.
Head came off on that swing. That front shoulder came a little bit out as well, and his head was looking where he wanted that ball to go down the left field line. Unfortunately, he's got to keep that head in.
Now that 3-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. And a big strikeout for J.R. Luttrell, battling back after falling behind Banks and getting the K, the second for Luttrell since coming in.
Again, same type of swing, a little out in front of it was Banks, and that head came out. Looking down that third base line, got to keep your head in on the baseball all the way through.
It'll bring to the plate Austin Bartley. Bartley has reached on an error, has popped out in foul territory to the first baseman. Last time up had an RBI triple into right center field. He backs out of the way of 1 up and in for ball 1. Now the Washington Nationals batting bottom of the 8th inning in D.C. They lead 2-1 over the St. Louis Cardinals. Next pitch down and in for ball 2, and another close pitch. Martinsburg right now in need of base runners, down 12-9 with 1 out. They do have Burnett at first, held on there by Matthew. Here comes the pitch. Down low for ball 3. Well, Luttrell fell behind Banks and managed to battle back and get the strikeout. See what happens now against Bartley. Luttrell ready, and the left-hander to the plate, and it is a called strike. Bartley with 15 strikeouts to 6 walks when at the plate. He'll await that 3-1 delivery. Luttrell looks at the runner at first. Here's the pitch to the plate. It's down and in. That's ball 4. The base on balls will be the first allowed by Luttrell. And Martinsburg will have runners at first and second, and that is going to bring the pitching coach Derek Snyder out.
Looks like Brady Weaver is going to either go out of the game to warm up, or he's going to go take his gear off and come in to pitch. As coming in behind the plate, we have a new catcher.
I think he said 14, if I heard correctly, which would be Aiden Milton. He's a sophomore. We can't see the number because of the
It looks like a 1-4.
Yeah, the apparatus that holds the chest protector on. But if we heard correctly, we believe that's Milton who will take over behind the plate. And I'm going to assume the thought here might be to have Weaver begin to loosen.
He is jogging down that right field line into the bullpen. So Milton and right now Luttrell getting some warm-up tosses in, so maybe just a precautionary measure.
I think if this situation calls for it, Weaver's going to come in to try to close the door, as right now Martinsburg, down by 3 runs, has runners at first and second, in the top of the order up. Grant Harmon batting with 1 down. Here we go with action underway, and the pitch to the plate. And that breaking pitch down low in the dirt gets away from the new catcher, and the base runners will advance. That'll be a wild pitch, as that one was down in the dirt, and a tough play for Milton to have to slide to his left and try to block it, and just couldn't keep it in front of him.
Yeah, welcome into the ball game. Let me give you a curveball low and in the dirt that you have to keep in front of you to keep runners moving into scoring position. But now 2 ducks on the pond for Grant Harmon.
2 very important runs. Grant Harmon has tripled, drawn a bases-loaded walk, bounced into a 6-4 fielder's choice, and delivered an RBI infield base hit. He's had a very productive night. He swings lines this one down the right field line, and it is a foul ball. It hit foul by only a foot or so.
I think you're being generous with a foot. I think that was 3 or 4 inches. That was close. I think if there was chalk out there and not paint, that chalk would have came up.
There's the advantage maybe of using the chalk as opposed to the paint, right? Man, Harmon almost had extra bases. That would have been big because he'd have put himself in scoring position representing the tying run. Runners at second and third with an 0-1 pitch to Harmon. That one will miss up. Pardon me, that was a 1-1 pitch. I failed to mark that first pitch in my book, so the count now at 2-1 as the pitch missed high.
Good in the attempt at a frame by Milton, but that one came in just a bit high, not quick enough. Getting that wrist down.
2-1 delivery bounced foul over to the Martinsburg dugout, where JV head coach Zeke Grissinger makes the play on the high hop. Count at 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Harmon. Nicholas Wright due next. Martinsburg's final at bat in regulation. And right now down by 3, 12-9, but 2 in scoring position. 1 down in the inning. The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Here it comes. Off-speed bounce slowly towards the third baseman. Rush has it on the backhand. Bullets a throw across the diamond in time to get him for out number 2.
That is a big out and a phenomenal play made by Josh Rush. Grant Harmon booking it down the line, and Rusher's going to have to make a perfect pinpoint throw. And that is exactly what he did.
Yeah, you see the strength of the arm in that young man as he gets it across the diamond. Rush, just a junior. Coach Grove's got a good one. That'll be coming back next year at third. So with 2 away, it's up to Nicholas Wright. He had an infield hit and a run scored in the first. He also grounded into a 6-4 fielder's choice in that first. He has lined out to short and has struck out swinging. Takes a breaking pitch away for ball 1. Martinsburg in need of a hit here. 2 on with 2 outs and down by 3 runs. The 1-0 pitch. Luttrell to the plate. That one snaps across the inside corner for a strike. It's 1-1, and this is that tough lefty-lefty matchup for Wright.
Especially on a breaking ball that's going to start coming about at your ear hole and breaking right on the heart of the plate.
Now that 1-1 delivery, and it's a bouncer up the first base line, hugging the line, and now into foul territory, and it will be banged further into foul territory by J.R. Luttrell as the pitcher coming over just got a glove on it and scooped it that much further away from the fair foul line.
That's what you're taught to do, especially if you look up that first base line on the base path where you see all the cleat marks. There's a good couple of divots that could bounce that ball either way. I believe you saw one of those bounce that ball foul as it was originally going just fair up that first base line.
So stepping back in will be Nicholas Wright. The count at now 1 ball and 2 strikes, and that 1-2 delivery misses high. 2-2. Close pitch, but that one up out of the zone. I tried that breaking pitch again. Started it high, hoping that it would snap down across the plate, but just did not. Now the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch is due. Luttrell ready, and here it comes. And that one well outside. It's a full count at 3-2. First base is open, but Ashton Stobbs is due next. And he's got a single and a double already to his credit, going 2 for 4. And it's been red hot down the stretch of this season. Big pitch here. 3-2 delivery on the way. Popped up foul territory, third base side. Rush moving over, and we'll watch it as it goes out of play. Josh Rush, the third baseman, losing the cap. So too Kyle West, the shortstop, as both went charging hard into foul territory. But that one well out of play in behind the Martinsburg dugout off the third base line. We'll do it again with a count 3-2. That payoff pitch on the way. Off-speed bounce towards the first baseman. Matthew juggles it as it came up into his chest, but he grabs it and takes it to the bag himself. The side is retired, and the Hedgesville Eagles will get the victory by the final score of 12-9. Well, we will take a break and then come back to tell you how this one played out as we get into our post-game show. And it is brought to you by the Final Score, with plenty of screens to watch the games, pool tables, trivia nights, and great food and drink selections. Meet your friends at the Final Score, 1517 Winchester Avenue, just south of Martinsburg. Speaking of the Final Score, here from P.O. Faulkner Park, it is Hedgesville 12 and Martinsburg 9. We're back after this.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I am beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
Into our post-game show, brought to you by the Final Score, with plenty of screens to watch the games, pool tables, trivia nights, great food and drink selections. Meet your friends at the Final Score at 1517 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller, John Alderton, our TV10 cameraman, Patrick Feely, our engineer at the studio. Welcome back to the Procter & Gamble broadcast booth. Procter & Gamble in Berkeley County is now hiring. Go to pgcareers.com to apply. Well, Matt, let's recap the scoring, and we've got plenty of that to look at as it started fast. Top half of the first inning, 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 Martinsburg error as Hedgesville took the early 2-0 lead. An RBI single from Chase DeLauder, a sac fly from Parker Martin, and it looked like Hedgesville was off and running. Martinsburg said, we'll run right by you. In the bottom of the first inning, 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 Hedgesville error, a walk, and a hit batter as well. And you had a triple from Grant Harmon, a big RBI double from Trey Son. Sign, an RBI fielder's choice from Darryl Pope. There was an RBI single from Cam Burnett, and well, in the end, Martinsburg had a 5-2 lead going into that second inning, but Hedgesville now says, hey, anything you can do, we can do better, right? They put 4 runs on the board in the top of that second inning as they would send 8 batters to the plate, and they scored those 4 on just 2 hits with 1 error and a couple of walks in there as well. And again, Hedgesville answers and takes that 6-5 lead, only to see Martinsburg tie it in the bottom of the second inning. Ashton Stobbs with a double, took third on a ground ball out from Trey Sign. Aaron Pearson with the sacrifice fly. And we wondered, how many runs are we going to see?
I thought it was going to be a lot. I thought both teams were going to get into double figures, and Martinsburg only one run away from doing that. So this game ended about where I was expecting it to. Wasn't sure who was going to come out on top, but overall run-wise, I think this 21 runs between the two teams is pretty accurate of how well both these teams hit the baseball today.
Yeah, they certainly did put the ball in play. We expected a bunch of strikeouts, didn't get any of those until the 5th inning. Well, neither team scored in the 3rd, neither team scored in the 4th, but in the top of the 5th inning, Hedgesville put 4 runs on the board on 4 hits, took advantage of a walk and a hit batter in there as well. Again, it was Parker Martin coming up with a clutch RBI base hit. He had a couple of runs batted in on the day. There was an RBI hit in there as well from Tyler Bubb and a sacrifice fly from Chase DeLauder. Hedgesville retook the lead, but Martinsburg would answer with 3 in the bottom half of the 5th inning with 2 outs in the inning. An RBI triple from Austin Bartley. It was followed by an infield RBI single from Grant Harmon. Another run scored on a passed ball. Martinsburg got to within a run, but would get no closer. Neither team scored in the 6th, and then in the top of the 7th inning, Hedgesville did the damage, putting 2 runs on the board on 3 hits, an RBI single from Chase DeLauder, and the other run scored on a fielding error. And in the bottom of the 7th inning, Martinsburg got a couple of base runners, but left them stranded at 2nd and 3rd. And your final score, it is Hedgesville 12 and Martinsburg 9. We'll take a 1-minute timeout, come back to put the finishing touches on our Final Score postgame show as we run the numbers from this one. It's West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
Prepare for what's next or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
All right, time for us to take a look at the numbers from this one. Final stats brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security, who remind you, don't become a statistic. Protect your family and home with the local alarm professionals at Dynamark Atlantic Security. They have the solutions to meet your needs and local monitoring, too. To learn more, call Ben Copenaver at 304-671-2158. We start with the pitchers for Martinsburg. Darryl Pope, 4+ innings, gave up 10 runs on 8 hits and no strikeouts, 4 base on balls. Ryan Barger in relief, 3 innings, allowed 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 3, did not walk a batter, but did hit a batter. Parker Martin in the start for Hedgesville, allowed 9 runs on 8 hits in 4 2/3 innings, struck out 2, walked 3, and hit a batter. J.R. Luttrell in relief, 2 1/3 innings, no runs, 3 hits. He would strike out 2 and walk 1. Offensively, 23 hits between the two teams combined. Josh Rush had a hit, reached on an error, hit by a pitch, scored a couple of runs. How about Chase DeLauder, Matt? Single. a walk, a sac fly, an RBI single, 4 runs batted in. He was on base 3 of his 4 times up, and even when they got him out, he drove in a run.
He really is just incredible. You think, all right, he's coming in with a 5.63 average, a 660 on base percentage, 36 RBI on the season. He's got to be hitting his peak at some point. That average can't go much higher. And then what does he do? He has a couple of hits, draws a couple of walks, a sacrifice fly, a 4 RBI driven, and now up to 40 on the year. I mean, he's having just one whale of a season. And again, who would have thought it could have got much better than what his stats were last year? And he's having a phenomenal senior year, and I look forward to seeing him throughout the playoffs.
Kyle West, following up DeLauder, had 3 hits in 5 trips to the plate, 3 singles. He drove in a couple of runs as well. Brady Weaver had an RBI Fielder's Choice, a double, and a run scored. Parker Martin, a sac fly and an RBI single. He drove in a pair. There was an RBI base hit out of that number 8 spot in the order for Tyler Bubb. He had 2 hits in 4 trips to the plate, so a lot of production up and down the order. Same could be said for Martinsburg. Grant Harmon, a triple, a walk, an infield hit, 2 runs driven in and a run scored out of that leadoff spot. Nicholas Wright reached on an infield hit and scored a run. Ashton Stobbs had a single and a double and a run scored. Trey Sine had a double to drive home a run, laid down a sacrifice bunt to help out as well, but they could not get a run in that 6th inning. Aaron Pearson had a sacrifice fly, drew a walk, was hit by a pitch, scored a run. Darrell Pope, an RBI Fielder's Choice, added a single and a couple of runs scored. Cam Burnett, he had a couple of singles in 3 trips to the plate, added a walk as well. And out of the number 9 spot in the order, Austin Bartley reached on an error and had an RBI triple. He drew a walk as well. So again, production 1 through 9 for both teams. Final totals look like this. For Hedgesville, 12 runs on 12 hits, 1 error, 7 left and 2 in scoring position. For Martinsburg, 9 runs on 11 hits. They commit 3 errors, stranding 8 base runners, 5 in scoring position. Martin gets the win to improve to 4-1. Pope falls to 8-2. Pardon me, with the loss. Time of the game, 2 hours and 18 minutes. Martinsburg now falls to 22-8, while Hedgesville improves to 19-8 on the season. All right, that wraps it up for us here. Now we look ahead to next week.
Playoffs?
That's it, playoffs.
Playoffs?
Jim Morrow, what are you talking about? We are. Sectional playoffs will begin next Tuesday here in our section, and it looks like we will be here on Tuesday night for that number 1 seed Martinsburg matchup against the 4 seed Musselman. We'll keep you up to date with scoring updates as Hedgesville, as the 2 seed, will take on the 3 seed in Spring Mills, and that matchup is one that will take place tomorrow, weather permitting, to help close out the regular season, as Hedgesville scheduled to play at Spring Mills tomorrow evening. Martinsburg still with 1 more game left. They're at Moorfield tomorrow evening, again weather permitting. But next up for us, looks like our broadcast schedule will have us into the playoffs as the Region 2 Section 1 tournament will begin next Tuesday, 7 o'clock the first pitch, 6:35 the pregame, and Miller time at 5 right here. Thanks to each of our sponsors supporting our coverage of high school baseball. Thank you for joining us at each of our broadcast entities. Thanks to both head coaches Eric Grove and Aaron Byler providing information and interviews for our broadcast. And thanks to all the staff and the folks here at P.O. Faulkner Park for their help, support, and hospitality with our broadcast coverage tonight. Our studio engineer Patrick Feely, for our TV10 cameraman John Alderton, and for Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller, reminding you one more time tonight's final score. It is Hedgesville 12 and Martinsburg 9. Until next time, so long, everyone.
With 4 new car dealerships
If you lose, you go down. It's a ladder. I'm not a bad tennis player.